So, coming round to 1:30, time for a big BBC Surrey sports special. It's Aldershot Town's third round FA Cup tie away to Championship side West Bromwich Albion. We've got live full-match commentary from 2 o'clock for you. But now on BBC Surrey, let's bring you the build-up to this historic match with Tim Durrans.
Pat, wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, a good afternoon, a huge afternoon. I am indeed Tim Durrans. Welcome then to a Surrey Sports Special. Here we go. Fingers crossed. It's FA Cup, third round weekend.
Sports Special with Tim Durrans.
Yeah, the Shots looking to reach the fourth round of this competition for the first time ever as a non-league club. A sensational cup run has already involved 4 matches, 3 wins, and generating some £150,000 in prize money and TV fees. But can they go, as Madness would say, one step beyond?
And there's Jack Barham with the hat-trick goal! And Aldershot Town are in 7th heaven here at the county ground. And it's over the line! The Shots have scored! And it's Ollie Scott, the substitute, goes over to celebrate with the Shots fans.
They always find a way. This season, Aldershot Town always find a way.
Shots boss Tommy Widgerton's revitalised the team and the club on and off the pitch this season and says today is for everyone.
I'm delighted for everybody, from the management above me, through my coaching staff, players, onto the terraces and the fans in particular. And the whole town, the fact we're taking almost 5,000 people, halfway up the country on a Sunday is a testament to the backing we're getting, and long may that continue.
Some 75 places separating these two teams in the football pyramid. Bat midfielder Tyler Frost says the players ready for whatever the challenge.
There's no hiding it. It's going to be a huge day, and for a lot of the players, the biggest, including myself, the biggest game of their career. Big games, they last a lifetime, whether you win or lose, and I just hope we can go there and give a good game and the fans will be going. That's why I support Aldershot Town.
And what about the fans? Red and blue taking over at the Hawthorns.
We drove down this morning, stopped at Warwick Services, and Warwick Services just like absolutely red and blue. Everyone talking to each other, everyone's saying hello. We're all in this together. I think that today's going to be a massive occasion.
We've got full live radio and online commentary on West Brom, Aldershot Town. Pitch yourselves from 2 o'clock. And we'll also follow today's other 6 2 o'clock ties, including Huddersfield away to Man City and Shrewsbury Wrexham. It's all on the BBC Sports Special.
Sports Special with Tim Durrans. BBC Radio Surrey Sport.
And as ever, you are as important as everybody else. We want to hear from you if you're listening at home or at work. You can't get up to the West Midlands today to join Rob, Steve and the almost 4,700, 800, 900 Shots fans today. You can text us 81333. Start your text with the word Surrey. Give us your thoughts today. How big is today for you in the history of the club? And you can WhatsApp us. Again, start your message with the word Surrey. 08000 321 333. There you go. That's 2 ways. You can ring us throughout the day if you wish. 0800 232 1045. And if they get a result, a draw or a win, we will open the phone lines with myself after 4 o'clock. But let's get the job done first. Let's not put the cart before the proverbial horse. Let's go up to the Hawthorns in the West Midlands, and it's a very good afternoon to our regular Aldershot commentator, Rob Worrell, and alongside him first, Steve Gibbs, Aldershot fan and summariser. Steve, as a fan, how's your stomach today? How are you feeling today?
Yeah, the nerves are starting to build. It's a fantastic arena, a fantastic occasion. The away end, as much as I love being up here, it's not many days that I'm torn where I wish I was in the away end. But today I think is one of those days. It's
off you go then, Steve.
The atmosphere up there. The atmosphere is already building. There's already excitement, nerves, anticipation, dreaming of what might be. And yeah, I think every Shots fan, wherever they are in the world, will be daring to dream of what might happen.
Rob, it's all based on the 11 he puts out. Let's get that team news, and obviously a couple of enforced changes, sadly, but people out, people come in.
Exactly that, Tim. Yeah, Josh Stokes, 1 match ban. Very unfortunate for the youngster. He misses out today, and Haji Manoga, of course, misses out for a slightly more positive reason. He is representing Tanzania in the African Nations Cup. 2 enforced changes then, and the 2 players coming in for them are Ryan Glover, understandably coming back into the 11, but potentially into a slightly different role. We'll cover that in a second. And the manager's son, Theo Widrington, who's been out for over a month with a hamstring injury. He will come, we believe, into the centre of midfield. We believe the shots will line up as follows: Geordie van Stappershurf in goal, Harfield, Harries and Rowe, the centre-backs, and then Widrington and O'Keefe, the skipper, in central midfield. Ollie Scott will stay in that wide left berth that he played so well against Woking, and Ryan Glover will come in a position normally played by Haji Manoga, the right wing back. That will allow Tyler Frost to move forward into the number 10 position, replacing Josh Stokes behind those prolific 2 marksmen up top for the shots, Laurent Tolage and Jack Barham, both of them with hat-tricks in previous rounds in the FA Cup this year.
Steve, we'll hear from Tommy Woodson before kick-off. I ask him, what a blow it was to lose Josh Stokes particularly, and he says it was a blow at the time, but the next day we got on with it. How will that change how the shots approach today, how they play, what threat they will offer?
Yeah, I think Stokes' skills at this level are rare, and he is a player who will go on to have a fantastic career higher up the divisions. He is that man who's capable of producing something from nothing, a pass, a turn, a strike from distance. But yeah, he's still only 19. The word talisman is being used, and I think quite rightly, but there are other players that have got those abilities. Laurent Tolage particularly loves to break through midfield and drive at the opposition defence. I think, yes, Stokes will be a big miss, but as Tommy Widrington himself has said, you can take players out, you can bring players in. It doesn't lessen the quality of the starting lineup, and the strength of this team is its collective ability and its spirit. And yes, Stokes will be a miss wherever he is, whether he's here this afternoon or whether he's watching from home or listening to the radio from home. He will be a miss, but whoever comes in has a chance to make themselves a hero, and I think Aldershot Town will give it a good go here. Looking at the West Brom starting lineup, they're far from at full strength, and Aldershot Town can go into this game with a degree of optimism.
Wonderful stuff. We're going to post some pictures that you've been sending over to us in a moment's time on @BBC Surrey Sport, but Rob, just paint the picture for us. It's some stadium there, great history there, and the Shots fans will have their own corner, and quite a lot of them as well today.
Yeah, more than just a corner, Tim. It's the Smethwick end away to our right. We're up high in the gods, in the gantry here at the Hawthorns. We're probably 15-20 yards into the right-hand half of the pitch as we look at it, and that's great because that's got us a little bit closer to the Shots fans. We've just taken some staggered pictures of the Smethwick end filling up for you, which hopefully you guys can get out on Twitter. Let's just remind ourselves of a few things. 75 places, I think that's at least, because the Shots maybe dropped 2 places in the National League table yesterday to 10th while they weren't playing. West Brom 5th in the Championship. They are in all but status, really, and league. They are a Premiership club. They spent more time in the Premiership than they have in any other division in the last 25 years. Huge capacity here, 4 giant stands. And yeah, let me tell you, Tim, I've commentated on Aldershot week in, week out, as you know, for the best part of 7 years, and I have been to some nice venues during that time. But when we walked into this place, when we walked down the corridors and we saw the photos of the first 3 black players ever to play for England, famously, the Cyril Regis, who is an absolute god around these parts, you feel the history of the place. And I don't mind admitting I've settled down again now, but it sort of cranked things up a bit for me. I thought, wow, this is a really big gig today. Hopefully the Shots players, Tim, will do something similar. They'll get an adrenaline rush as they get here, and then as they complete their warm-up, as they come out and as the whistle goes, they'll settle down and give the very best version of themselves that they can.
Well, let's hear from one of those players, midfielder and of course former Reading Academy player, Tyler Frost.
Firstly, Tyler,
I hear the Hawthorns a ground you know, in a funny sort of way.
Strange story, yeah. No, I was following Reading back years ago when I was about 10 years old. FA Cup game, actually. Might have been third or fourth round. And was asked to go on the pitch at half-time to do a crossbar challenge as a kid. So that's the only time I've actually stepped foot on the pitch. So it'd be nice to get on there and play a full game, hopefully.
You mentioned Reading. You went on to play in the academy. And a lot of the players you play with then are now doing very well. And you obviously had the talent to be in their academy. So do you think that will help you a little bit on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely. Players I played with are playing in the Prem, played abroad in top European leagues, but also training even with the first team back when I was at Reading. So hopefully I'll have a little idea of feel, but I never made an appearance in the Championship. So it will be I think a match day experience will be much different. You know, everyone gives it their all 100% in the game. So I'm expecting, you know, a level above of what I've been playing the last few years anyway.
Give us a feel for what you think the difference will be stepping up, because you played Swindon, League Two, you've played Stockport. Are they quicker, stronger? What is it?
I think we should maybe the biggest fear will be the transition, the pace and power that they acquire, shall I say. That's where the next level is. I think even with Stockport, you could see it there, the sharpness. Every level you go up, the sharpness, the fitness, the power, the strength. And I think at the Championship it will be that quite a big step up, even from Swindon and Stockport. But there's no doubt in our minds that we can go there, and at times we'll have periods in the game, hopefully, even if it's short spells, where we hopefully have our stamp on the game at the same time.
Big blow as a team, missing Josh Stokes getting suspended. As a mate, you must really feel for him, but I guess someone else will fill his shoes. How much of a loss will he be? Massive.
He actually came back with me the game after Woking, and he was devastated. You know, the young lad, 19, his season's been going perfect for him. You know, and this is the first time this season where something's hit him hard. He'll learn from it massively, and you know what? It might be a good thing for him in the long run. You know, I say this now, if I go back in time and take it back from him and say, look, don't do that, you're going to miss the game, I'd 100% do it. But he's got to take this as a big learning curve, and he'll have plenty of days in the future. This could be him week in, week out playing someone like West Brom in the future, and I firmly believe that he will. So it will be a big loss for our team, definitely. But every stage this season when someone's had to come in and fill someone else, no one's let the team down or... Not let the team down. No one's come in and not put a foot wrong. Everyone's come in and gone, oh, maybe I should be playing the next game, but I'm sure that won't be the case with Stokesy.
You are playing, hopefully. Selected. How excited are you?
Massively. This gaffer's been huge on every game. Is your most important game the next game? So I'll be honest, it's really only come to my mind since Tuesday, Wednesday. Even today's the first day we've put our foot down and gone, all right, now it's West Brom. December was hectic. You've not really had a chance to think about playing West Brom, to be honest. That is the honest truth. The National Leagues, every league, even and in the National League, there's so many games that come thick and fast. Every game's been important. We had back-to-back Eastleigh, we had back-to-back Woking, 2 huge games, especially the Woking games, as everyone knows in this league. It's a huge rivalry. And now it's, oh wow, we've got West Brom. So it's a bit of a nice relief in a way.
So actually you haven't had a lot of time to dwell on it. The Woking game has sucked all your attention. You won that, so you go there with a spring in your step, but yet you haven't probably fixated on this game for weeks, lying in bed at night.
No, and the Eastleigh loss at home, it was horrible on the day, but we didn't have time to dwell on that. We had to go again, and we had Woking as our next game. So it works well in both aspects. You know, if you lose a game, you're quickly on to the next one. If you win a game, you're quickly on to the next one. And I'm telling the truth when I say we haven't actually thought about West Brom like that. That's no disrespect. I mean that in no disrespect. It's more just game, and now it's West Brom. But obviously, there's no hiding it. It's going to be a huge day, and for a lot of the players, the biggest, including myself, the biggest game of their career.
Well, I was going to say it is, isn't it?
100%. I've had a couple of good FA Cup games in the past where I've been at previous, and I didn't play actually. I was on the bench, but we beat Leeds 3-0. But this will be nice to hopefully go there and actually play and be fully involved. So hoping that I'm selected and picked to start the game.
Big day for you, big day for the management team, but also for the fans. Oh. You're taking your home attendance up there, 5,000.
I saw yesterday, 4,500 tickets sold, and huge credit to the loyal support. It's been amazing all season, and every game, you know, they can see we're consistently putting results and performances in. It's getting consistent with attendances too, which it really doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm glad we've been able as a team. It's pride as a team to be able to give the fans a day like that they're going to hopefully cherish for many, many years. You know, this club talk about the odd game that they've had in the past forever. You know, they talk about big games. They last a lifetime, whether you win or lose, and I just hope we can go there and give a good game, and the fans will be, you know, leave going. That's why I support Aldershot Town.
You mentioned Crawley, of course. You know, they still talk about beating Leeds. 100%. Woking going up to West Brom in 91. But they've become, you could put a chapter in this club's history that is passed down son, daughter to generation?
Well, even myself, it'd be something that hopefully I'll talk about in years to come. We're not going to go there with the mindset, we're going there to lose. It's going to be a very tough game. And if we can come away victorious, well, yeah, I can't see any lad in this team not talking about it for the rest of their life. And supporters as well, we'll probably get a plaque on the wall somewhere in the stadium, which would be nice.
Plaque? They'll get a statue, Steve, won't they, if they win today? Want the goal scorer?
Absolutely, yeah, whoever scores the winners. Yeah, he won't be buying a drink in Aldershot anytime soon.
No, Ollie Scott is set for life already. We'll hear from the fans in a moment's time. Rob, you saw a little lovely moment there when the Shots players came off. They're getting ready to go downstairs for the big talk from Tommy.
Exactly that, yeah, they finished their warm-up and the fans anticipated it and began roaring away to our right. Lovely moment where the fans acknowledged the players and the players the fans. And then as they came off, another little lovely moment actually. The whole Aldershot Town squad posed behind what looks like a dozen or so West Bromwich Albion mascots. And down there with the West Brom mascots, there's one little lad, he's the smallest of the lot, with the red and blue of Aldershot Town on, looking a rather bit bewildered and bemused at the minute, but hopefully he'll have a lovely souvenir, whoever took that photo.
Well, we heard the Tyler Frost story there, you know. He was doing the crossbar challenge, age 10, at this very ground as a Reading fan, and here he is now about to play against West Brom as a young adult. Right, let's hear from the fans. Steve's been going amongst them.
I'm joined in the Smethwick end by two early bird Shots fans, Andrew and Alex. Alex first, what's your thinking for this afternoon? Can the Shots do it?
If we can get a goal in the first 15 minutes, West Brom, they're going to be worried. We're going to come out gung-ho. Let's just get that early goal, see what happens. If we can't get that early goal, it's going to be a long afternoon, but an enjoyable one.
And is that the ultimate thing that you're going to enjoy this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, it's once, probably not in a lifetime, but maybe a second time in a lifetime to come to a ground like this. Enjoy every second of it, and that's why we're here early.
But you've got to dare to dream. We've got through this far that nobody expected, so can it happen again?
Why not? I mean, if there's ever an Aldershot team that could do it, it's this one at the moment, so fingers crossed the boys will get through.
Andrew, you're here with the family, the famous Pew Aldershot Town family. What does this afternoon mean to you to see so many Shots fans supporting the team?
Yeah, do you know what, the result don't matter. It's, 5,000 Shots fans. We drove down this morning, stopped at Warwick Services, and Warwick Services just like absolutely red and blue. Everyone talking to each other, everyone saying hello. We're all in this together. I think that today's going to be a massive occasion. Do I think we'll win? No. Do I think we'll have a fantastic day? Yeah, I think we'll have a great day.
Maybe won't win, but could win. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I've put a bit of money on Keane Harris to score, so fingers crossed he'll bang one in, and a cheeky one on us to win 1-0. So we could do it. These guys, they come with no fear. Big loss without Stokes, but yeah, we might do something. My money's on a draw.
And a replay, that was a whole new kettle of fish. The sellout at the Ebb Stadium, TV money, that would be another fantastic occasion.
Yeah, sell out the Rec EBB would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, we've been pretty close a couple of times this season already. Stockport at home was an amazing atmosphere. So to get these guys back at the Rec would be an absolutely immense evening.
Just two of the 4,700, 800 odd fans talking there to Steve. You may have heard in the background, if you were very astute, a town called Malice, of course, the Woking based band The Jam, a song the Woking fans love. Well, they have been to the stadium and won in 91.
The referee has blown the whistle and capped a remarkable performance here from the Vauxhall lead side Woking. The first time that they've reached the third round of the FA Cup, and they've done even better. They've got to the fourth round.
Well, the manager that day was a former Shots Academy player, Jeff Chappell. I spoke to him this week.
I mean, there are some similarities going back then and now. I hate the term non-league, but both Aldershot and us, Woking, are non-league, and I wish they'd get rid of that. We're full-time professional footballers, for God's sake. We're not non-league. And I'm displeased that, for me, the FA Cup still retains its magic, and I'm sure it does with throughout, if I use the term again, non-league, the romance of it, the David and Goliath. Everybody loves a fairy tale, and this weekend, believe me, there's going to be a shock somewhere. So why not West Brom Aldershot? I've listened to all the experts' predictions, and in the main, they're all predicting that West Brom will win 2 or 3-0. I understand that. 67,000 I think, places between the two teams in the leagues. West Brom very rarely, I don't think they've lost at home since September, but let's remember this is the FA Cup. Form goes out the window. Aldershot will want it desperately. I think they've got an excellent chance. West Brom's priority, I'm pretty sure, is going to be Premier League. I know that Aldershot have lost a couple of players this week for various reasons. West Brom have got a couple going to the African Nations Cup, so they'll be missing, and I also think they might rotate the squad. But forget that, it's a one-off match. I think Aldershot are well capable of getting a result, and I'd love it to see it come back here and have a replay. That would be fantastic, because then we get the television involved, a little bit more money, and that's what it's all about, the finance.
How did you get your non-leaguers to go and win at West Brom all those years ago?
We went to West Brom more in hope than expectation, I've got to be honest. And I think, looking at this tie, Sunday, Aldershot go there in a better place than we were at the time. We were part-time, Little Isthmian League side at the time. We were about 7th or 8th in the league. But what we did do, we tried to prepare as best we could. So we're only training twice a week. We watched them 5 times. I personally watched them 3 times. And whilst we were impressed with what we were seeing and the opposition they were playing, all the reports we got were all the same. My 3 and my 2 coaches, we all said, if they've got a weakness, it's across the back. And that is exactly what happened on the day. We were losing 1-0 at half-time. At that point, I remember saying to my players, if you only lose this game 1-0, you have done fantastically well. I looked at the clock, 10 minutes to go, we're winning 4-1, and I thought, you've got to pinch yourself, is this really happening? And exactly what we'd all said, all the reports, we'd played some great football and come straight through their back 4, and that's where we done the damage.
And your name, a national name, the club, a national name, the players, Tim Bazaglo, others. What's that like, to be in the middle of that national newspaper, radio, television, media limelight?
In a word, horrible. Now that might surprise you. We're not used to it. I can remember Tim Bazaglo saying he couldn't go to work. People wanted his attention all the time. Television, radio. I had cameras outside my house. Neighbours thought there'd been a murder. I mean, I was on Sky Television 3 or 4 times a week. And if you're not used to it, it doesn't come easy. I'm not a film star. I'm just a normal human being. It's like Tim said. He said, all I ever did was score 3... You speak to him now, he'll say, all I ever did was score 3 goals at West Brom. I ain't done anything else. That's how humble he is. But in terms of that result, 1-0 down at half-time, it's the best shock, apparently, the most amazing shock. 16 million to 1 odds of that result.
Steve, you don't know the odds today, do you? It's because of people like Jeff that the shots have got a chance.
Yeah, if you say we're not on air.
You are on air, yes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I don't know the odds today, I'm afraid, but certainly, yeah. 16 million to 1. If Jeff Chappell says it, then I believe it, and lightning can strike twice.
Tim, I've got a different way of looking at the odds. I'm not a betting man. I believe that Aldershot Town have between a 5 and a 10% chance of winning here today. I believe they have up to maybe a 15% chance of getting a draw. Add those 2 together and there's a 25% chance of getting something today. Maybe that's a little bit optimistic, I don't know. I try to be realistic with it. So 3/4 of our brains expect that West Brom will win this, but there is room for hope. There's room for realistic hope. Whether Aldershot do it hanging on, whether they put in a performance on a par with Swindon and Stockport, if not better, or whether they just get a little bit of luck on the day and get out of here with a draw. But they do have a chance, however small it is.
Well, let's hear. I asked Tommy Winston this week what he'll be saying right now downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there'll be a lot of lads in our group quite rightly have designs on playing at a higher level. Now, in an ideal world, I'd want to do it with them here, with Aldershot Town. But, you know, the way of the world is such that the haves who have a little bit more than the have-nots come knocking on the door usually, and this is a bigger stage than Stockport, which was a bigger stage than Swindon. So they're going up the levels, and so far we've been able to show what we're doing as a group of people, and therefore the individuals as part of that group are good enough. Now, listen, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute anybody should be jumping up into playing the championship, but, you know, they're going to get a real litmus test here as to where they are in terms of their own physicality, because it's a different animal. I've played at all levels of the game, and trust me, when you get to championship and Premier League, it is a different animal.
A different animal this afternoon is huge for Aldershot Town. Gentlemen, before the players come out very quickly, brilliant day for Maidstone yesterday, Rob. Brilliant day for Eastleigh. You know, a creditable draw. They are playing for themselves today, but also for, I know they hate the term, the lower leagues, the non-league today.
Oh, absolutely. And fair play to those sides yesterday. Were it not for a 95th minute winner for Watford, all three non-league teams that played yesterday would be in Monday's draw. That's tomorrow. Remind we're on Sunday. Aldershot, you know, as full-time approached at Watford yesterday, it almost looked like the pressure had swung back on Aldershot to join the club, because Maidstone have done incredibly well to knock out Stevenage from League One, and Eastleigh, with 10 men for more than half the game, found a way to get a draw thanks to that Chris Maguire penalty, and they'll bring Newport back to the Silver Lake. So those two are in tomorrow's draw, and that's the hope, that's the dream right now for Aldershot Town. And after Swindon, after Stockport, why should the Aldershot Town faithful, nearly 5,000 of them away to our right, not dare to dream?
Steve, the fans, you spoke to them, they have trouble there, I guess, in hope rather than expectation, but you've lived through many of these days, some of the Gary Waddock days, the Terry Brown days. They're important for the glue that holds the fan base together, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. You don't support a team like Aldershot Town because you win every week. You live for days like this, which are few and far between. As Alex Drew said to me, maybe once, twice in a lifetime. And it does make you so proud. As Tommy Whittington has said, the whole of Aldershot is up here this afternoon. Pretty much, it feels like. There's a huge red and white and blue banner just saying Aldershot being unfurled across the whole of the away end. And it does make you proud that this club chose me. I didn't choose it. And it's these sorts of days that makes it all worthwhile.
Famous words of Steve Gibbs 2 weeks ago. Aldershot find a way. They always find a way. Today they will be tested, but we shall see. The players about to come out, I'm delighted to say, here on BBC Radio Surrey and online in the UK on BBC Sounds, wherever you are, from Argyll down to Land's End, you can listen to Steve Gibbs, fan and summariser, alongside Rob Worrell, who does this week in, week out, but it doesn't get as good as Hawthorn's on a Sunday afternoon.
Thank you very much indeed, Tim Durrans, yes, myself, Rob Worrell, and Steve Gibbs will bring you whatever happens here this afternoon in this crazy season for Aldershot Town. And while we wait for the players to come out, Steve, a quick question to you. 12 months ago, you could not have dreamt any of this.
You could not, no, and I think that's testament to the impact that Tommy has had, to his recruitment, to the team that he's built, to the spirit that he's engendered in the dressing room.
Listen to that roar as the shots come out here at the Hawthorns for an historic afternoon in the third round of the FA Cup for just the third time in their history. If they can produce a result this afternoon, they'll go further than they've ever gone before in the FA Cup as a non-league club. And they're led out by the skipper, Stuart O'Keefe, who shakes hands now with his opposite number, Kyle Bartley, and the players from both sides shake hands. Here at the Hawthorns, Steve Gibbs and myself are positioned just about 20 yards to the right of the halfway line, towards the Smethwick end, where 4,700 plus Aldershot Town fans have just greeted their heroes with a wonderful display of flags and balloons. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic sight, amazing occasion, and yeah, whatever, win, lose, draw, those Shots fans will do the town and the club and the players and themselves proud this afternoon. They're already making themselves heard. I don't think, whoever it is in the Championship, I don't think that sort of passion, colour in the away end will have been seen here for very often this season.
All right, let's get to the details of the teams. Aldershot Town are playing in their home kit of red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks, and West Brom are in their traditional home kit of navy blue stripes on the back of white shirts, white shorts and white socks. As for the teams, let's start with the home side, West Bromwich Albion, and their manager Carlos Corberán suggested that they would start 6 players. He's been true to his word. Unfortunately for Aldershot, they're starting 5 others as well. We think, Steve and I, Josh Griffiths coming into goal for his first appearance since the EFL Cup in August, and then a back 4 left to right of Eric Peters, Caleb Taylor, Kyle Bartley and Pippa, and then midfield Nathaniel Chalabar and Alex Mowat playing the holding roles behind an advanced midfielder in Fenton Hurd. Tom Fellows probably on the left, Jovan Malcolm on the right, and Daryl DK up front for West Brom. For the shots, Geordie van Stappershurf in goal, Harfield, Harries and Rowe the centre-backs. Theo Widrington back into the side today alongside the skipper O'Keefe. Ryan Glover back into the side at right wing-back, Ollie Scott left wing-back, and then Tyler Frost playing in the number 10 position behind Tolaj and Barham. Frost and Glover could be the other way. We'll keep our eye on that one as the game kicks off. The sides are going to change ends. And Steve, when we kick off in just under a minute or so's time, the Shots fans in the first half will be attacking 4,700 Shot fans.
Yeah, I'm sure Aldershot Town would have wanted it the other way to attack the Smethwick end in the second half, but if you look on the positive side, that's a great chance, a great opportunity to make a really positive start and get that early goal that could be crucial. But yeah, this West Brom team thrown together, lots of young players, a couple of first teamers, only 3 started the last game on New Year's Day against Swansea City. The rest lacking match practice, lacking match fitness, lacking experience. I'm sure chinks in the armour that Tommy Widrington will have been highlighting in the dressing room, and once again plenty of causes for optimism for this Shot side.
Well, one of the things I've spotted already, Steve, is that Pippa is starting on the left, and it looks like 3 at the back to me.
It does.
So Pippa is the left wing back, and you keep an eye on those that West Brom formation for us as we go forward. He's a versatile player, Pippa. He's a versatile player, Pippa, and we're back, and we're underway here at the Hawthorns. Aldershot with the kick-off going all the way back to Geordie van Stappershurf, who kicks long, and it'll be a West Brom headed winner, and the ball will be picked up in the midfield as well by Fenton Hurd. Spreads it out to the left-hand side to Jovan Malcolm now, and he plays the ball back to Alex Mowat, and West Brom with early possession on the edge of the final third. But it's the Shots fans you can hear loud and proud here at the Smethwick end. 4,700 or so of them. West Brom electing just to get a feel for things. Now they send the ball out to the left-hand side. A little bit too much adrenaline on that ball forward from Kyle Bartley, Steve, and any more information on that formation? Definitely a back 3 for me.
It's definitely a back 3 with Pippa as the left wing back. Peters, who we thought was going to be the left back, is starting as one of the 3 centre backs alongside Bartley and Taylor. So I think that's a sign that Carlos Corberán is paying Aldershot Town, the attacking threat that the Shots show, a lot of respect. To have 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs under the cost, it will be a back 5, and you'd hope that Aldershot Town will press those wing backs back, that they won't allow them space, time to bomb on forward down the flanks.
Good headed winner from Ollie Scott, and Barham does really well to get something on it, and then Stuart O'Keefe can't quite make his pass, but Harries reads it well, plays the ball up towards Frost, cleared. Widrington gets there first. I thought he was fouled, nothing given. Knocked down from Barham, finding Frost, and again it's the imposing figure of Bartley who gets something on it for West Brom to avert the imminent danger. Shots come again with Glover and Rowe. Widrington tries a ball down the line, it's cut out, but it comes back to him. Tolaj gets the ball under control on his left foot, calmly just lays it back to Rowe, and Shots. Steve, quick word from you, enjoying a little bit of possession themselves. Hang on a moment. Harry's out to the left-hand side. Ball taken nicely by Ollie Scott. He keeps possession and finds Harfield. Frost moves towards a pocket of space on the left, and he's not seen. We're very high up, and we could see it more clearly perhaps than the combination of O'Keefe and Harfield could. Shots still have it though, and Harries clips a ball out to the left-hand side to Scott. some good early touches from the shot side. Here's Scott trying to get a cross in. That's cut out by the head of Caleb Taylor, but only as far as O'Keefe. O'Keefe back to Harries, and Harries out to the left side to Harfield. Tries a ball down the left side. Frost was just wrong-footed. Might not have enough. It just has enough pace to trickle behind the goal away to our right in front of the Shots fans. And here, after almost 3 minutes already, Steve, the Shots have had their own minute or so of decent possession. 0-0.
They have, yeah. They couldn't do anything with it really, but really good signs for the nerves, for the composure. But yeah, this team are playing. It's a home game at the Ebb Stadium, it feels like, and Aldershot Town have started with that composure, with that calmness, with that attacking outlook that you'd expect.
That's Steve Gibbs, I'm Rob Worrell, and we're coming to you from the Hawthorns, the first ever competitive meeting between these two sides. There was one meeting of a sort back in 1981, Murray Brodie's testimonial. More of that, I'm sure, later. Here come West Brom down the right-hand side from the wing-back position. Ball clipped to the far post, is headed back down and then cleared away by Rowe. And Steve, just fill us in with the name of that right wing-back when you can, so I can get my formation right. There's Barham just nudging the more imposing figure of Bartley for West Brom. And yeah, just trying to pick up the diminutive player on the far side playing at right.
It looks like it's Tom Fellows, who can play as a wing-back, more of an old-fashioned winger, described as a head-down winger. He impressed against Swansea on New Year's Day, but probably not familiar in the more of the defensive duties of his game.
Here's Chalabar in possession, brings the ball back, and they play it across the edge of the final third. Pippa involved, and now to Jovan Malcolm, one-on-one against his man Glover, and he beats him. Can he get his cross in? It clips off of Glover and goes behind for the first corner of the afternoon in the 5th minute for West Bromwich Albion. In terms of the other three stands, this main stand that we're in the gantry above is pretty well populated, as is the end behind the goal, and a good few sections of the main stand opposite. It's the West Bromwich Albion number 27 that's going to take the corner. Alex Mowat, left-footed out swinger, and the header is towards goal from Malcolm, I believe. And I may be kind, Steve, in saying that the header was towards goal.
It was towards goal. I think more worrying was the space that he found in pulling towards the near post. I think the Shots defence need to be wary of that at set pieces in allowing him that space, whether it was DK, I'm not quite sure, DK or Malcolm, but yeah, the header was not the best, but the space that he found was worrying.
Big appeals for a handball on halfway for a West Brom player from the Shots fans, nothing given. The kind of demand a home crowd would call for to try and intimidate a ref who's not going to be intimidated. Anthony Backhouse, averaging 4.25 yellows per game this season across the Championship, League One and the EFL Cup. Here in possession for the Shots is that man Malcolm, and the ball's set out to the left-hand side to Pippa, who is up against Widrington. He cuts inside and he finds the number 14 Chalabar in a little bit of space. He's running towards the right-hand edge of as West Brom attack, and now they cut back inside and it's picked up by Mowat. He spreads the ball across to Pippa again. Aldershot with plenty of players back, but with Tollage and Barham still holding their positions up front. Here now is Chalabar again, spreading the ball back to Mowat. Mowat out to Tom Fellows on the right-hand side. A little give and go. Can he get the ball in here for West Brom? He might be able to. Shot comes in, and it's a wonderful finish from Nathaniel Chalabar. Just a simple pullback and a clipped finish high into the top corner for West Brom, and they take the lead in just the 7th minute here at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion 1, Aldershot Town 0.
Yeah, that's a goal from England international Nathaniel Chalabar, but I think that was all about Tom Fellows and his run. Aldershot Town left wing back allowed too much space there. I think Ollie Scott just getting a little bit caught in between going to the ball or following his man, and in the end it was a lovely inside pass that found Fellows on the byline, giving it a bit of air to put the cross in, and Chalabar hooked a fine cross shot, a controlled cross shot into Van Stappershoef's far corner. But that's the quality that West Brom have got. Second string these days, Nathaniel Chalobah, but once an England international, once one of the hottest prospects in the Premier League with Chelsea. And that's the sort of player that they can call upon. But Aldershot Town can't allow that to deflate their energy, to pop their bubble. They've got to come back. They've shown that they can do this. They've got to come back and just start again. Yes, they're behind, but they've got the spirit and the quality to come back.
Yeah, if West Brom were looking for an easy passage, it probably script-wise would look like an early goal in the first 10 minutes and then obviously getting a second at some point too. Here's Rowe with the ball over the top, and it's a decent ball and it's headed towards touch, and Glover is fouled but nothing given. He's clearly knocked over by the number 15 Eric Peters. Nothing given. West Brom keeping possession inside their own final third. First decision where the referee's not given Aldershot something he might well have. Good afternoon to our regular listeners, Mike Brown, and to Steve Ray. And a lovely little story to share with you in a moment about a Shots fan that will be listening today but can't be here, sadly. We'll bring you that story when we get a little stoppage in play. So meanwhile then, Shots have just got to clear their heads and go again. Started pretty well in the first 6 or 7 minutes, but the first real composed attack from West Brom has resulted in a goal for the Baggies. 1-0 up, 7 minutes in, and as Steve Gibbs said, an England international. Here comes Fellows down the right side again, pulls it back again, and it's clipped out, deflected behind, this time by Ollie Scott tracking back. They stopped the pull back at source this time, Steve, and it will be a second corner to West Brom of the afternoon.
Yeah, Fellows has started really well down that right flank. As we said, he impressed on New Year's Day against Swansea. That was his first ever start for West Bromwich Albion, so he'll be one of those players in the team this afternoon looking to cement places for future championship fixtures. And certainly that, as we said with Aldershot Town, those players coming in place of someone's misfortune, they're the ones that are going to be looking to impress, and Fellows is certainly taking that opportunity so far.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 West Brom players lined up against 5 defenders awaiting this corner. Little modicum of sunshine at the far end there. Enix clipped to the far post. Header is just wide. It's cut out anyway by Harfield, and he sends it forward now. Headed inside by a West Brom player, and a good headed winner from O'Keefe. He releases Barham, and Barham is offside. And 4,700 Shots fans don't agree, but Steve, you and I were well placed, and he was a good 2 or 3 yards off.
He was, sadly, but that's what Jack Barham can do. He only takes one of those well timed. The West Brom defence stepping up. If Barham can time that run right, he's in one-on-one with Josh Griffiths.
West Brom get the game back underway. If you've joined us late, West Brom did take the lead in the 7th minute. We're in the 11th now. So West Brom 1, Aldershot Town 0. And Jordi van Stappershoef has a cap on because there is just in the penalty area only away to our left. West Brom are in again on the right hand side. Fellows looks to pull it back. It's well cut out by Jordi van Stappershoef, and he beats it well away from his goal. Something he probably has picked up a bit of criticism on this season. Not always when he makes his good reaction saves, pushing things away from goal. He did so really well there. Ball up the middle, little clipped header down from Frost. West Brom have nicked it, and it's Fellows for me who's been the key player in that right wing back position early on. And here's West Brom playing the ball forward. It's well cut out, and Barham reacts well but can't quite get there first in front of Bartley, the captain today, and he is a real leader at the back there for West Brom. And there's a good 1-2 with them on the left hand side now. Malcolm picks the ball up, going one-on-one against Glover, cuts in, he's going to try a shot right-footed. Glover got something on it, took a little bit of the sting out of the shot. It goes through to Jordi van Stappershoef, and here as we approach the 12-minute mark at the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Aldershot Town 0. Shots in possession with Widrington and Rowe, and now Cian Harries, who finds Harfield, a little bit of space on the left. He's quickly checked by Fenton Hurd, and now Tollard picks the ball up. He turns into a little bit of space, finds Rowe in the right centre-back position. He finds Glover, not been able to get into any free space yet. Glover, it's been quickly shut down, and West Brom I think have done their homework, and They've gone with that bit of respect of the extra man at the back out of possession, and it's making it a little bit harder for Aldershot to find spaces. They go long through the middle, looking for Tolladge. The ball's left, bounces once and goes through to young Josh Griffiths. He's one of two players in the starting lineup today who haven't played for West Brom since they played in the EFL Cup back in August, and Carlos Corberán's gone with a bit of a mixed side today. He's got one or two key experienced players in regular positions, Steve, but he has mixed it up.
Oh, he has, absolutely, yeah, and I think it very nearly came unstuck, that policy in this round last season against Chesterfield. But you look, the man on the ball at the moment, Carl Bartley, he's played in the Champions League for Arsenal, he's played in the Europa League for Rangers, he's made 51 Premier League appearances. That's the sort of smattering of quality that could be the difference between victory and not winning here this afternoon for the Baggies.
Here is West Brom in possession, just inside the Aldershot half, and Fenton Hurd is really busy. He's clearly got that free roll for West Brom. And here's Chalabar, the goal scorer, picking the ball up in the right channel. We're halfway through the 14th minute, does the 1-2 with Fellows again. This time it's cut out by Ollie Scott. There's no doubt that Scott and Harfield have got their work cut out down that channel, Steve, which West Brom in their planning have clearly picked as being a potential point of weakness for shots.
I think so, yeah. I think it's good for Ollie Scott that he has got someone of the quality and the experience as a full-back, as a wing-back, as Ollie Harfield. But that, if Harfield is pulled out from his left centre-back position, that could leave space and exploit Kean Harris's kind of having to cover two positions almost. So, yeah, I think West Brom have set up really well, really impressively, started on the front foot, and Fellows is definitely taking this opportunity by the scruff of the neck.
Harries has slipped over in possession. Malcolm with the shot, and he puts it away, and the shots are 2-0 down inside the first 15 minutes, and Harries, who's been so good in possession all season, slipped at an inopportune moment. Malcolm picked the ball up and punished Aldershot Town. 2-0 West Brom, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, if you're writing a script of what you don't want to happen, bit of slack defending, defensive slips, 2 goals in the first 15 minutes, it's the very script that you didn't want. A mountain to climb for the shots now, but you have to believe. You have to keep believing that Aldershot Town, they've come from 2-0 down this season a couple of times already. Yes, not against opposition the calibre of West Bromwich Albion, but if West Brom think they've got 1 foot in the 4th round, then you'd hope that Aldershot Town can give them a rude awakening.
He burst into the penalty area, Malcolm, and he let fly from about 14-15 yards. As he did, Harfield had come across in desperation to try and block a shot, and I think that slightly unsighted Van Stappershoef, which is why he didn't really make any viable attempt to save the shot. And frustration it is for the shots early on, who settled quite quickly in the first few minutes, but and now find themselves 2-0 down after 15 minutes. And well, O'Keefe gives a foul away on Chalabar, and it's close to the nightmare start for shots, really. The fans have been noisy. That second goal's taken the sting even out of them, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, I think they need to lift the players, because I'm sure the players will be feeling deflated as well.
Here's West Brom, 5th in the Championship for a reason. Out to the right-hand side, Fellows up against Scott. Can he get his ball in? No, Scott does well, and he stops it from finding its way in. There's a few other FA Cup matches on this afternoon, on this Sunday afternoon with the 2 o'clock kickoff, so we'll keep you guys abreast of the scores in those games as well. It's West Ham United 1, Bristol City 0. Here's West Brom from the throw, and it's Hurd working with Fellows, who clips a ball into the far post now. Glover realises there's enough purchase on it to run across his body and behind, away to the goal on our left. Steve, I was going to make a point to you at 1-0, and sadly now it's too late for that. That in a way, that kind of scoreline, the longer it went on, wouldn't be the worst in the world for shots, because West Brom would kind of feel they'd done what they needed to, and Aldershot's job was to stay in the game. Here's Barham, who might get into a pocket of space on the left. He's on his own. He's going to come back onto his right foot, try and get a shot. He does. Deflection and wide. And that deflection, wrong-footed. Griffiths in the goal. And it wasn't far wide. It could have deflected into the empty net, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, it could have gone anywhere. And now those 4,800 Shots fans, they found their voice again. And Barham and Tolaj, it does only take one moment of opportunism from one of those two, and the Shots are right back in the game.
Corner taken short by Glover to Frost. Harfield now back to Glover. Important they make room for the cross. They do. Harfield it is, clipping it in. Tolaj rises. Harry's shot blocked out to O'Keefe, and O'Keefe volleys over the bar, well over the bar. But applause from the Shots faithful. They've had a go at the West Bromwich Albion goal for the first time 18 minutes in.
Yeah, another small reason to get the Shots back into this game. But yeah, Kean Harris's appeal for handball was optimistic at best, I feel. But Stuart O'Keefe, he's got far too much experience. He should have been bringing that down, looking to continue the move, build the pressure. Whereas by slicing the ball over the bar, he's just let West Brom off the hook.
So just the 2 goals for West Brom here and the 1 for West Ham so far in the FA Cup. Third round this afternoon. Not been the best of starts for Aldershot, but they by no means dropped their heads. Here come West Brom again, though, down the right-hand side with Fellows. His cross on this occasion is a little too firm, but Malcolm can adjust his foot in, keep it in by the byline. He sends the ball back to Pippa. Pippa across to Mowat, and Mowat now to Caleb Taylor, who's advanced from the centre-back position, and they find Fellows back in again. At the moment, it's the 2 diminutive players, Fellows and Hurd, who are pulling all the strings for West Brom. Obviously, Malcolm as well has played his part early on. Here's Bartley in possession, plays the ball up, and West Brom, I have to say, have settled really well. They've produced 2 moments of quality. They've scored from them both. Here they are again on the edge of the area. Heavy challenge from Harries, gets away with it. Ball breaks free. Harries clips it up in the air, and Van Stappershoef catches it directly from Harfield, but there's no way he was trying a back pass there, and the referee not interested in any muted appeals from West Bromwich Albion. So 77 places between the 2 sides coming into this one. West Brom 5th in the Championship. Shots dropped to 10th in the National League yesterday, after a lot of the other teams in the playoff battle won their games. That's a battle for Shots for another day. Here's Glover with a throw in down the line, and Frost and Tolaj almost get it, but West Brom win it, and just a couple of composed passes, and then a clip into space on the right hand side for Chalabar. He might try an early cross. He does. It's heavy. Glover should get there in front of Malcolm, and he does, and he heads it into touch. So Aldershot Town don't look as if they're suffering too badly in their body language. They are suffering with the scoreline, and the 4,700 fans who were determined to get the most out this afternoon have had a lot of their hopes dented severely in these opening 15 minutes. There's 21 very nearly gone now. West Bromwich Albion 2, Aldershot 0. You're listening to BBC Radio Surrey. Tomorrow morning James Cannon will round up today's events here and all the sport from the weekend. And whatever happens here today, the Shots will be playing again at Wealdstone on Tuesday night, and I'll be there. We await confirmation from the man away to my right to see if he'll be there or not. Christina, if you're listening, can he go, please? Throw into West Brom, 10 yards inside the Shots half. Good work from Barham, but even better work from Bartley. And Barham just bounces off Bartley and ends up on the floor. Bartley, meanwhile, still has the ball. Spreads it to Pippa, who spreads it to the other side to Fellows. He cuts in. Aldershot should cut that one out. Harries clears it away on his left foot. Looked more naturally, he would have taken it with his right, but it's a good 1-2 from West Brom, but Harries comes across and clears his lines. And we've said about Harries a number of times this season, he's quite capable of putting his foot through it when he needs to, or when he feels he needs to. He's quite comfortable in possession too as well, but he'll be gutted at that personal moment of disappointment where, who knows, we saw it in the playoff match against Ebbsfleet a few years ago, where a defender and a goalkeeper both slipped for Aldershot. Glover does well here, winning the ball inside the penalty area. A few muted appeals from the West Brom fans for a penalty. Nothing doing there, Steve.
No, definitely not. No, I think that's good defending, but yeah, they're not a particularly quick passing team normally, West Brom, but they've won it back again in the final third.
His half-field clearing his lines, and West Brom have been really quick from front to back today. It's interesting, they're not renowned as a high goal scoring side. Ironically, they've got some of their best strikers away, but they've had an excellent start this afternoon. We're halfway through the first half here at the Hawthorns, and the Baggies lead 2-0 against the Shots. Here's Fellows on the right hand side, 1-on-1 against Scott again, clips the ball in, and Malcolm gets up and gets his header in. It's over the bar on this occasion, and it remains 2-0 West Brom after 23 minutes. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, Fellows has been the outstanding player in the opening quarter of this game, and Ollie Scott, unfortunately, just a little stumble as he was trying to keep tracks with Fellows, allowed the West Brom winger that space to the byline, stood up the cross, but it was a little bit too high. Malcolm did his best, but he was always stretching him. In the end, he could only get a deflection off the top of his head rather than any purchase or power or direction with his forehead, and let off for the Shots. But Aldershot Town, they're standing up, they're standing strong. They've not let the scoreline get too much the better of them, but they do need to start getting Barham and Tolaj into the game a little bit more in behind that West Brom defence.
That's the Shots fans away to our right that you can hear, not too far short of 5,000, still singing their hearts out despite the fact that their side are 2-0 down. Another thing I was going to mention at 1-0 was that all those years ago, Woking went in 1-0 down at half-time and won 4-1. Aldershot have got a bigger mountain to climb. Might get bigger yet. The shot comes in and it's wide, and it's... Couldn't quite catch the identity of the player who let fly there, Steve, but it was a harmless-looking shot wide from West Brom.
I think it was Daryl DK.
Daryl DK, thank you very much indeed. I think he might have a different shirt on to the one that I thought he was wearing. We'll double-check that. But here's Tyler Frost breaking forward across halfway, finds Glover. Glover into the feet of Tolaj. Nice touch and turn from him, finds Frost. Frost with the ball inside, and Barham had turned his back and ran away from him, so that one didn't come off. It was a nice idea from Frost. Here's a lovely touch and turn from Pippa, and a lovely little drag back from Malcolm, which plays the ball off Glover. And Steve, let's be honest about it, we hoped that it might be 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes before we truly saw the difference in class between the two sides, but sadly it's been evident from the off.
It has been, yeah, and just that neat little turn away from Tyler Frost in the left back position from Pippa. He's got 621 caps for Spain, so he's probably not a bad player.
Here is the West Brom skipper, Kyle Bartley, in possession. Christina's replied. She says not only can you come on Tuesday, but she's coming as well. There we go. That's that one sorted. Thank you, Christina. And West Brom have a throw 10 yards inside their own half. And if Steve had anything else planned, well, it'll have to go out the window now. Me and Christina have pulled rank. What have we got here? The referee's just saying, oh, he's telling the West Brom player he's got to take the throw in from further up the pitch. Oh, the irony. They get the ball under control now. Theo Widrington almost wins it. Ball into Malcolm, back to goal. It's drawn Rowe out of the defence and spread the ball back now to Mowat. Mowat finds Pippa. He's 1-on-1 against Glover. Tries the ball into the air. It's nicely picked up by Hurd, and the ball goes behind, off of Kean Harries. It'll be a third corner of the afternoon to West Brom, away to our left. Come on, you baggies! Probably the first or second time I've heard that today.
Yeah,
and
the Shots fans have been asking the West Brom fans to be as noisy as them all afternoon. If you can't win the scoreline, you can at least win the battle of the fans.
Corner then to West Brom. They are 2-0 up here. We're in the 27th minute. It's not been the start that Aldershot Town and Tommy Widrington and the red and blue fans dreamt of, but they plough on regardless. In comes the corner to the far post, missed by a lot of people, and then headed inadvertently down by a Shots player into the path of Daryl DK, and he smashes it home. And that was a goal, sadly, of Aldershot Town's making. West Bromwich Albion 3, Aldershot Town 0.
It is DK. This is his first game since April where he ruptured his Achilles tendon. So for him, a fantastic personal story, but Aldershot Town, the masters of their own downfall there, trying to clear the ball, inadvertently heading it back into the danger area, and you don't give a striker the quality of DK, an American international no less, that sort of space, that opportunity from about 7 yards out, and similar to Chalabar's first finish, lashes it into the roof of the net, giving Van Stappershoef no chance. And 2-0, you'd say it's doable. 3-0, I don't want to call it game over, but really it should be.
Yeah, an absolute killer blow, you think, that one, for the Shots, coming in the 27th minute. And I think what hurts more about that goal for Aldershot, Steve, is the fact that the corner come in and it was an Aldershot player that got up and he headed it back inside his own penalty area, straight to DK, who lashed it home. And surely Tolaj has won a free kick, and that might be the first free kick Aldershot have won, Steve. They've had certainly no real empathy from our referee Backhouse this afternoon. They take it and go backwards with it, which is surprising to me. I thought they might have loaded up the box and got something in there.
Yeah, you think so, but I think that's the way they like to play, from the back, build from the back, and try and find spaces behind this West Brom defence.
Glover does really well chasing the lost cause. Oh, and he plays it off the West Brom player, Steve. We could see it clear as a bell, and both officials give a goal kick to West Brom. Staggering.
Yeah.
Was he over the line when he did it?
That's the only thing I can think of, that maybe the ball had already crossed the line, and Ryan Glover, in his desire to get the ball, continued that run. But I think if the ball had still been in play, I think that came off Peters last, but whether it was in play or not remains to be seen.
Shocks do happen, of course. National League South Maidstone become the first National League South side since 2007 to make the fourth round yesterday. Here comes DK with another shot. This one is blocked by Kean Harries, but the Baggies fans in the stadium, Stephen, every member from midfield upwards from West Brom fancies they might get on the score sheet here this afternoon. But the one thing we know about this Shots team, they won't drop their heads, they'll keep fighting whatever the scoreline.
They will.
They've taken the throw in. Ball's being held up by Chalabar. He pulls it back. It's cleared away by Glover, only as far as Mowat. And now Fellows has it. He has options. He can Hurd finds Fellows. Fellows back to Chalabar, and Aldershot will clear it away. They just haven't held or been able to build anything through the middle, Aldershot Town, at all. And the necessity of the change they've had to make this afternoon hasn't helped that. Theo Widrington desperately short of match fitness, and a key gamble from the manager to start his son today. Excuse me, listeners. I think
as Hurd built, he was able to break with far too much space through midfield in the move that led to that initial West Brom chance. And you'd hope that someone like O'Keefe or Widrington would get a grip of that they'd follow him, that would shadow him, would not allow him the space. And you could say that's maybe the quality that even the academy graduates have got here at the Hawthorns. But Widrington and O'Keefe's raison d'etre in this team throughout their career has been stopping those creative players breaking through midfield. And we've seen too often this afternoon, Aldershot Town are not getting to grips. The players that are breaking between the lines, breaking into that final third, they're not being stopped.
Well, Aldershot are in possession at the moment with Harries. He feeds Widrington inside their own half, and a ball forward is easily cut out by Bartley, who just pops that one into the stand in front of Steve and ourselves. And Aldershot take the throw quickly, and a ball over the top from Harries, flicked on by Barham, and a free kick is given for offside. And I was just saying a minute ago that shocks are possible. Maidstone pulled one off yesterday against Stevenage. Eastleigh, with 10 men, certainly did well to take Newport to a replay. Chesterfield came within moments, really, of bringing back Watford for a replay. And Premier League Nottingham Forest 0, Blackpool 2 is a latest score. One for the underdogs there.
Yeah.
Bartley in possession for West Brom. West Brom just playing it comfortably. They've not really, to be totally fair to them, looked the slightest bit flustered by Aldershot Town at all in the opening 32 minutes, and of course the scoreline is helping that. But there's a good cut out from Harries, and he's late with his follow-up, and the foul is given. Referee's going to have a word, and he's going to show yellow to Kean Harries, who's not had the start to the first half that he wanted, and I'd love to back him up here and say it's not deserved, but it was a little bit wild, Steve.
It was unfortunately, yeah. I think Cian Harris is a better player than he's shown this afternoon, but that's the step up in class. I think people realise that Cian is an excellent defender at National League level, has and can play at League 2 level, but at the Championship level, people are a little bit quicker. Their first touch is a little bit better. They've got more awareness of what's around them, of where that next pass is going to go, where their first touch is going to take them, and that's the difference.
Here's DK picking the ball up on the edge of the area, goes forward, coming together with Rowe. Nothing given on this occasion by the referee, and Aldershot play the ball up to Tollage. Tollage holds it up and comes away into a little bit of space now, finds Widrington. Widrington back to Harries. Harries thinks twice about the forward ball and elects to go to Harfield instead. Difficult to imagine at any point, whether it's now or at half-time, Tommy Widrington going for damage limitation. But it's certainly proving very, very difficult for the Shots. They probably needed to go 0-0 as long as they could, or take the lead, or at least keep it at 1-0. It's 3-0 in the 33rd minute and 33 seconds, all the threes. Here's Aldershot's fans doing a few olays every time Aldershot complete a pass.
You've got to take what you can get.
Exactly right, the irony in that one. Widrington tries a ball through the middle, that's cut out rather easily, and then a clipped tackle from Theo Widrington, who apologises immediately for his mistimed challenge, and the referee Anthony Backhouse doesn't hesitate to pull his yellow card out again. And no second chances for Harries or Widrington with their first bad tackles of the day.
Yeah, and I think rightly so. I think the referee has got both decisions.
Not for me, that one.
I think Theo was late. I think he caught is it Javon Malcolm,
yeah,
trailing leg, and I think he caught him quite heavily on the ankle. For me, that's a yellow.
Yeah, for me, Harries was a yellow. We agreed on that. For that one, the first foul of the day from Widrington, clearly accidentally mistimed, not dangerous. For me, a foul and get on with it. But no, the referee has put Widrington on a knife edge now with that. Here's Fellows trying to get another cross in. It's well stopped again by Ollie Scott. Not easy for the Shots coming into this game anyway, but certainly without the athleticism of Minoga and the pace, trickery, just general brilliance really of Josh Stokes, who can't be with them today. And they've suffered in this first half. There's a ball through, looking to get West Brom into the penalty area. Rowe does well to cut it out. Malcolm picks it up, and he'll eventually go back to Eric Peters, who gives it back to him again, and Glover wins it and then loses it, and then it breaks free to Rowe. Rowe finds O'Keefe, and now Harries will clear, but again Aldershot just can't find the out ball. And Manchester City, it's business as usual for them up at the Etihad, 1-0 up against Huddersfield. Phil Foden with a goal. There's Barham onto a ball forward. He just managed to wriggle away from Bartley, but it had a little bit too much pace on it, and it's found touch. It will be a throw-in to West Brom in the right centre-back or right-back position. Bartley says to Caleb Tabor, it's okay, I'll take it, we can change positions again afterwards. And the Aldershot Town fans moaning that West Brom are taking too much time over the throw. They want to see some more action. At half-time, you can hear from former Shots player George Elokobi, who steered Maidstone to that win yesterday. Here is Tollage. Tries a ball in from the left. It's cut out comfortably by Caleb Taylor. And they can come forward with Javon Malcolm. He feeds DK, who can get the ball out of his feet. He's got an overlapping run on his left. He's going to try a shot from distance. And it's saved down low away to his right by Jordy van Stappershoef. You'd expect him to save that one. In fairness, I don't want to be too harsh on him for the 3 goals. You'd hope that he'd have saved one of them. I think that's his first save of the day. He's maybe caught one ball and gathered it in.
I think he stood up and parried one at head height earlier in the game. But yeah, I think a decent save. It was swerving, it was dipping, it was bouncing a little bit in front of him. So yeah, a decent save from Van Stappershoef. But again, the West Brom players, the attackers, the midfielders, they're able to find too much space in midfield. I think for me, that Widgerington-O'Keefe pairing, there's not enough pace.
Corner comes in to the far post, header back across goal, dangerously in front of goal. Tolaj clears it, but he clears it straight to Mowat. Mowat finds Chalabar, squares it across, and it's very nearly poked in at the far post. Glover does well to put it behind for the 5th corner of the afternoon for West Bromwich Albion, who in fairness have truly and totally dominated the shots in this first half. Julian Alvarez has put Manchester City 2-0 up against Huddersfield, and Peterborough United, hoping to cause their own shock this afternoon at home to Leeds United, have gone behind to an Ethan Ampadu goal. So it will be that 5th corner of the afternoon to West Brom. They already lead the shots by 3-0. We're in the 39th minute now, and it comes right-footed out swinger, diverted towards goal, and then snaffled by Van Stappershoef. And a West Brom player is down. Harries is holding his head as well. They may have had a coming together. We may get a brief stoppage in play here while one or the other receives treatment, which gives me the opportunity to read you a lovely story this afternoon sent to me by Paul Mercer. He said he'll be at the Hawthorns in spirit today with an old friend. He was my best man when I got married over 50 years ago, a real Albion fan who dragged me off to watch them many times in the late 60s and 70s, and he also came with me to watch the shots. Sadly, he passed away some years ago, and I'm lying in hospital after having a knee replacement operation myself yesterday. But we will both be with you in spirit today. We've waited 55 years for this game. He would have loved it, and that's from Paul. Lovely story there, heartwarming story from a Shots fan and a Baggies fan who will both be here in spirit. Free kick to Aldershot just inside the West Brom half. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, it was a bit of a clumsy foul from Chalabar, and he himself has now picked up a yellow card.
Good spot there from Steve Gibbs. His shot's coming forward and is initially repelled by West Brom, and Malcolm's holding the ball up. Tolaj has picked up the ball, found Frost. I guess we're not quite down Consolation Street yet, Steve, are we? But we still hope that the shots can bring a moment of pleasure at least to their fans at some point today. And if they're going to score in front of their own fans, they've got some 5 minutes plus added time to do so.
Yeah, you would hope they can get something from this, at least give the Shots fans something to remember on their way back down the M40.
They have the possession just inside the West Brom half, and now Harfield comes forward on the left-hand side, and Aldershot keeping possession well, but struggling to break down the West Brom defence, and the ball in the end goes all the way back to Jordi Van Stappershoef. Frost, who might have dreamt about playing in the number 10 position today, hasn't really been able to get that far forward too often yet. It's been all hands on deck, and we have to applaud the quality of the side from the Championship, especially the fact that, you know, at least half of their team have not been regulars in the West Brom starting lineup this season. Ball forward from Widgerington's cut out, a little bit telegraphed and won well by West Brom, but Tolaj has won it back and he's found Glover. Glover is just shaken off the ball by Bartley. What a tremendous first half he's had. He's really shown his class. And a message in from the Dorking Wanderers manager Mark White, who says the Shots are going to win 4-3. Love his positivity. And here is Pippa in possession for West Brom, finds Chalabar. 41 minutes on the clock, 3-0 to West Bromwich Albion here against the Shots, who've really just had that Jack Barham shot that deflected wide. It so easily could have deflected in. The goalkeeper Griffiths was totally wrong-footed, went behind from a corner, and from that corner O'Keefe shot over the bar, and that's the only moment so far in front of the goal that Shots have had. Here Bartley tries a diagonal ball out to the right hand side. It's lovely control from Fellows, who immediately has support from Chalabar. Chalabar inside to Mowat, who's in a deep position at the minute, gives it to Bartley. And next weekend, of course, we'll have all the FA Vars and FA Trophy stories. We'll have commentary of the Shots game at Bishop Stortford, and Dorking will be at Macclesfield. BBC Radio Surrey Sport will be following that one, as ever. Farnham will be involved in the FA Vars, as will Cobham. So all that to come next weekend. Before that, as I say, we'll have Wealdstone against Shotts in the week with myself and Steve Gibbs and Christina as well, getting the coffees in at half time, putting you under pressure now, Christina, but we're going well here with this one, so we might as well put the foot on the gas. 42.5 minutes gone here, and that's something Aldershot Town just haven't been able to do, put their foot on the gas this afternoon. West Brom out of possession, 5 across the back, very difficult to break down. When they win it, they break forward quickly and to good effect. Here's Frost, who's getting deeper and deeper, picking the ball up almost in a holding midfielder position on this occasion. Feeds Widrington back to Rowe. Frost battles for the ball, but again Pippa gets a foot in. Oh, good, well in from Theo Widrington, wins the ball, steers it to O'Keefe, who finds Harfield. Harfield's had very little opportunity to get forward, finds Ollie Scott, and Aldershot win a throw on the left hand side. It was Caleb Taylor just poking it in to touch in front of Tolaj. Had he not done so, Tolaj might have wriggled away down the left side. Harry's inside to Kobe Rowe, and Rowe to Glover. Not an easy one for the Shotts players. They've probably, to be fair, in the last 10-15 minutes equipped themselves quite well, Steve. Others might say, well, when you're 3-0 down, it's a lot easier to do that because West Brom are not quite desperate to break them down every moment in the game. Probably their next biggest target, West Brom, will be to complete this game with a clean sheet, won't it? Regardless of how many more they may or may not go on and get.
Absolutely, yeah. For them, it's job done. And I think Tyler Frost has had to drop deep because his legs, his energy on the ball has been sadly lacking in that final third for the Shotts. As I said, I think O'Keefe and Widrington are a bit of a mismatched partnership against the mobility of these West Brom attackers.
And here's a lovely little through ball again to find Hurd. Hurd tries the ball into the penalty area. Glover's well positioned, reads it well. It's too far in front of Malcolm, and it'll go behind the goal away to our left. So Geordie van Stappershoef will get things underway again with a goal kick, and he has to wait for the ball to stop moving before he releases it. He does so now. It was the referee's whistle just bringing him back. We are 25 seconds away from finding out how much added time there will be at the end of the first half. Aldershot have won a throw just inside their own half, and be interesting to see how Widrington views things at half time. Whether he changes personnel or formation, or whether he makes some relatively early changes in the second half. He might see if realistically the game has gone. Oh, here's Barham clipping the ball into the path of O'Keefe, who gets it under control, and Aldershot might build an attack here towards the end of the first half, but West Brom have quickly got 7 or 8 players back as O'Keefe just dwelt on it. Now the cross is in from the left, Barham goes up, misses it, keeper gets something on it. There's an offside flag anyway. The keeper's gone down. Barham's holding his head as well. I think the keeper is okay, gradually bringing himself to his feet. Huge leap from Barham. I think he was adjudged to have impeded the giant goalkeeper. And as we look at the physical mismatch between the two, it's hard to believe that the 6 foot plenty goalkeeper and little Jack Barham coming together, the goalkeeper having 2 huge white gloves and arms to use as well, that Barham somehow, Steve, has managed to foul him.
Yeah, I think that's the goalkeepers union or the strikers union will have differing views on that challenge, but positive signs again from the Shotts. Once again, though, I think the ball not moving quick enough.
That's Steve Gibbs, I'm Rob Worrell, and you're listening to BBC Radio Surrey. Aldershot Town think they've got a free kick just inside their own half for Tolaj, and it's given to West Brom. And this referee, who often referees at championship level, clearly doesn't want to fall out with anybody here at the Hawthorns. He's given Aldershot practically nothing in the first half, but you have to allow in that the nous, the extra nous of the West Brom players. Ball down the right hand side, clipped in, or Van Stappershoef can't get it at the first or second attempt, and ironically it falls at the feet of Frost, who bursts forward with it. He hasn't really got much in the way of forward options. He has to go back to O'Keefe, desperate to play a forward pass there, he was, Frost. But Barham was shackled between Taylor and Bartley, who've changed positions now. Bartley's gone on the right side of the 3, and Caleb Taylor in the middle. They're using it as a training ground exercise.
They are, yeah. I think maybe Taylor has taken Barham, and then Bartley is sort of the spare man, even though he's playing on the right of the 3.
Ball out to the left, finds Ollie Scott. Excuse me, listeners. Here's Harries coming over halfway. Tries the ball through to Barham. I think he would just have been offside. He's bang in line with me and Steve. And I could see the linesman getting fidgety, but the ball went to the West Brom player anyway. And now the ball's picked up by Hurd. And I think probably half-time can't come soon enough for either side, really. West Brom will be comfortable at 3-0. 3 added minutes, by the way. We're 2.5 through them already. Sorry if I didn't mention that. And here's Chalabar in possession. So we've got less than 30 seconds of this one left. No reason to see why it should be extended any further than that. 3 added minutes. 3 goals up, West Brom, and it has been all the 3s. And the most creative player, Fellows, has got a 3 on his shirt, and so has one of the goal scorers, Malcolm. Here is Fellows, clips the ball in, and it's gathered comfortably by Cian Harries. And our referee, Anthony Backhouse, brings the first half to a close. A smattering of applause from the West Brom faithful, who are happy. They've seen 3 goals without reply. They'll be hoping for more in the second half. What, Steve Gibbs, can Aldershot hope and play and pray for in the second half?
A miracle. That should be game over. To all intents and purposes, it's game over. You're starting to think, you're clutching at straws. You're looking at Istanbul, you're looking at comebacks, famous comebacks throughout the years, but still you're clutching at straws. West Brom, huge credit to them. They've taken this professionally. It's a scratch team. It's a team that have never played together. Plenty of players who have not got match fitness, match sharpness, players who maybe have never stepped out at the Hawthorns in a first team game before, but they found cohesion, they found quality, and they found a way all too easily to unlock this Aldershot Town defence. And I think however good West Bromwich Albion have been, for me Aldershot Town have been disappointing in a few fundamental areas. They've allowed too much space in midfield. The passing hasn't been quite right. They've not capitalised upon those moments. And yes, you can say that's because of the quality of the opposition, the extra yard of sharpness, the extra yard in their head, in being able to predict what National League players are going to do. But there's been a couple of times where you think Aldershot Town could and maybe should have made more of this. And I think Tommy Wigginton he'll be proud of the team for getting here and for the occasion that they've created. But I think he'd also feel that they could have done more and could have pressed Albion a little bit more as well.
Thank you very much, Steve Gibbs. So, Tim, goals in the 7th, 15th and 27th minute for the Baggies. Give them that half-time scoreline of West Bromwich Albion 3, Aldershot Town 0.
Yes, our thanks to Steve Gibbs and to Rob Worrell for now. They'll have a small break and we'll pick up in the second half. So far, not so good for Aldershot Town. What do you make of it? You can text 81333. Start your text with the word Surrey, 81333, or you can WhatsApp us, 08000 321 333. Again, start your message with the word Surrey, or you can tweet at BBC Sussex Sport. So huge hope for the Shots this afternoon, but wasn't to be.
In comes the corner to the far post, missed by a lot of people, and then headed inadvertently down by a Shots player into the path of Daryl DK, and he smashes it home. And that was a goal, sadly, of Aldershot Town's making. West Bromwich Albion 3, Aldershot Town 0.
That is the score at half-time. Elsewhere, Luton, course of the Premier League, being held 0-0 at home by League One Bolton Wanderers. Manchester City 2 up against Huddersfield. Man City at home in this one. Foden and Alvarez with the goals. And on the bench, a certain De Bruyne. Yep, could come on in the second half. He's been out for some months, hasn't he? Hasn't played this season. Beating Huddersfield of the Championship 2-0. Blackpool of League One. They're the big surprise so far today, winning 2-1 at Nottingham Forest. They led 2-0 through Lawrence, Gabriel and Morgan, but Dominguez of Forest getting a goal back. 6 minutes before half-time. Not too many changes for Forest, that's not the reason. 4 changes today, but at the moment, Blackpool outplaying them. Leeds winning 1-0 at Peterborough through Ampadu. Shrewsbury and Wrexham is goalless. West Brom, as we heard, beating Aldershot 3-0. And West Ham through Early Jared Bowen goal leading Bristol City of the Championship at the London Stadium by a goal to nil. That's your half-time FA Cup scores so far. At half-4, it's Arsenal-Liverpool.
Sports Special with Tim Dorrans, BBC Radio Surrey Sport.
So, no luck so far for Aldershot Town. One decent chance, no goals. Can they reverse that? They're 3-0 down. Second half commentary to come on BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Surrey. No doubting yesterday's huge shock. National League South side, Maidstone United winning through 1-0 at home to Steve Evans' League One side, Stevenage Borough. They're into tomorrow's fourth round draw, therefore. The Maidstone United manager is, of course, George Ellacobi, a former Wolves and Aldershot Town player. He spoke to the BBC after the game.
Actually, I'm quite calm. I'm just taking it all in for our players, their families. You know, history has been made. It's not done on me yet. I still have to drive on the motorway, so I need to stay calm with my family. When I get home, I'm going to sit down and relax and then reflect on this historic moment for Maidstone United Football Club. But for now, our players, our supporters have to enjoy this. Our owners have to enjoy this moment.
I'm absolutely sure that knowing the club and the players and the community like you do, you will have thought you had every chance of doing exactly what you've done today.
Yeah, we believed. Belief and hard work. We've been working, we've been preparing, paying Stevenage all the respect. They are an established League One outfit, well marshaled by the experienced Steve Evans. And you know, whatever team he puts out, you are in for a game. But again, I know what we've built here at Maidstone United Football Club under my leadership. I know what, in terms of the work, the volume of work we did to physically prepare our players in the summer and also during the season and leading to this game. And, you know, I was quite humble that our players have gone out and absolutely played their hearts out. But for the first half of this game today, there was no difference between a League One side and a National League South side. In the second half, of course, with waves of attack, we got over the line. And, you know, the magic of the FA Cup is very much alive.
And I know it's important for you, as someone who's from Cameroon, to be inspiring people at home.
Yeah, definitely. This is an inspirational moment for the people in Cameroon, the children in Cameroon, more so from my hometown, Kumba, and also from my previous college, St. Joseph's College, Sasset. This is for them. You know, that young boy that left in 2002 is making history here in the UK with Maidstone United Football Club. And it's important that, you know, the generation and people take note of Maidstone. I'm sure a lot of people now will be aware of where Maidstone is and who Maidstone United Football Club is. We are in the heart for the fourth round of the FA Cup. And, you know, who knows what the draw is going to bring to us.
Who's the dream draw for you in the fourth round?
Bring on Wolves. Away. Take me to the Golden Palace. So I can take our babies, our players, to the Golden Palace of Wolverhampton Wanderers. The magnitude of that game, if that was to happen, going to be an incredible, incredible fairy tale. But whoever we get in the draw, we deserve them. And hopefully we get a glamorous tie. Hopefully, you know, the cameras can come down, broadcast the game.
Well, not only the result of the round so far, and probably to be the result of the round, but the character of the round. George Ellacobi, formerly of Shotts. Wolves are now in charge at Maidstone United, and they are through to the draw tomorrow night, as are, of course, Brighton and Albion from our Sussex patch. Good win in the end, 4-2 for them away at Stoke City of the Championship. No cup heroics this year for Cordy. They've had their moments under Steve Evans, of course, and against Leeds United 2 or 3 years ago, but they did steal the League Two headlines yesterday. 2-1 down going into the final 10 minutes away at Bradford City, but after an equaliser 5 minutes later and then 2 goals in added time, Clady Lolos sealed a 4-2 win. That means the Reds now level on points with the playoff places, only goal difference behind. This, of course, under Scott Lindsay, who arrived a year ago, give or take, and they were hanging around the relegation places. Here was reaction with our reporter Gary Smith after the match.
Scott, thank you so much for joining us. I don't quite know where to start. As the manager of the side, you've come from 2-1 down with 5 minutes to go to winning 4-2. How do you sum up that game?
Just character, the unbelievable character that the players have got, and togetherness wins us the game. You know, we wasn't at our best today in terms of how we want to play, but we come up against a really strong side who put a lot of balls in our box, and we were resilient and stood up to the task. And, you know, we didn't play great today. We didn't have many passages of play where I would be delighted with. But the moments we did play, we scored. We actually started playing probably more possession when we were 2-1 down, and actually started being a little braver on the ball. But listen, I can't question the players at all today. They were unbelievable to a man. I mean, I don't know how many balls they slung in our box, and we stood up to it time and time again. Apart from obviously, the 2 goals that they scored, and we were unbelievable. Our character, our togetherness, our want, will and determination to keep going was top class. And I'm really proud of the players.
You used a lot of words there that we used in the commentary: determination, strength of mind, character, resilience. When your side is not playing well, those are the sort of aspects that you have to see from your players.
I said it at pre-season when I first kind of like at the first meeting, that we have to build a togetherness within the dressing room. We have to build a real strong dressing room in terms of personnel and character and professionalism. People can never be late, and if they are, the rest of the lads will pull them in line. And I've seen titles won on character. I've seen titles won, on having a good dressing room. And whilst we want to be the best team in the division, which we do, we've also got to have that character, and we certainly showed that today. We were outstanding in terms of that. Was we good today in terms of the way we want to play? Of course, no, we wasn't, and we know that. But it doesn't need addressing that much because of the character that we showed. We want to do better in the next game for sure. We do want to do better in the next game in terms of the way we play. But listen, I can't question, the boys were brilliant today in terms of their determination to see it over the line.
I know that you and I have spoken before about Campbell, Orsi and Lolos as a front three, being able to interchange and how well they can play together. One can spring forward while the other 2 sit back. And it's those 3 that have scored you the goals today. Not just those winning you the game, the whole side has won you the game. But again, evidence of how effective those 3 can be.
Yeah, listen, Dan Orsi's been brilliant. He's worked his socks off again tonight. Today he's been unbelievable, and worked so hard, and he deserves his goals because of the work ethic he puts in. The first goal, great movement in the box. Of course, the penalty, he's been brilliant in terms of how he puts the ball in the net from a penalty spot. He works on it in training, been brilliant doing it. It was never in doubt for me, he was always going to score it. Adam Campbell's been saying to me, he has been victim of coming off the pitch around 60 minutes, and he knocked on my door and said, Gaffer, please leave me on a bit longer because I do score a lot of goals in that last 20 minutes. And I have listened to him, because I do listen to my players. And, he was defensively brilliant again today, Adam. And whilst we weren't great in terms of attacking play, he was brilliant in terms of how he defended, but popped up. I don't know what it was, 85 minutes was it when he scored his goal, and I'm pleased. I'm pleased for him because, he's done great for us and worked extremely hard, and he deserved his goal again today.
A big win for Crawley. If we've got time, we'll hear a bit from their midfielder Liam Kelly. That's coming up in a moment, hopefully.
On BBC iPlayer, you need to watch, you need to listen. New year, new TV.
I like it.
Head back to school for some bad education.
Babe, the dress code was practical. I'm practically perfect, Jinx.
Uncover hidden secrets with The Tourist.
My boyfriend Elliot, he lost his memory.
If I've done something to all of you, I'm sorry.
And take on a new challenge with The Traitors,
where faithful and traitors do battle.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
All on the iPlayer right now. So Crawley with that great 4-2 win on goal difference now just outside the playoffs. We also spoke with the midfielder Liam Kelly after the game with Gary.
Liam, thank you for joining us. Quite an afternoon here at Bradford this afternoon. Just goes to show you it's never over until it's over.
Yeah, games are 90 plus minutes. And we sort of, it just shows that, like, especially with the way we play, we're always going to create chances, whether that's in the first minute, early on with Orsi's goal, or late on with Lolis's goal. We know that, for the 90, 100 minutes or whatever it is, we're going to create chances, and it just shows today.
Scott was quite quick to say to us when we spoke to him that it wasn't the greatest performance today, footballing wise, but the resilience and the character and the strength of mind was there to come back from leading and then suddenly being behind to find that goal that I think a lot of Crawley fans and maybe people listening in as well would have taken a point at that stage with that equalising goal, but the team just wanted to drive on and get the win.
Yeah, 100%. That's sort of the squad we are. To come to a place like this, we probably would have taken a point before the game, but I think as players you feel sort of the momentum in games. So when we did score the second, we knew that obviously Bradford, being at home in front of their fans, will want to come and put pressure on us, and we knew that late on there'll be spaces to play even more with chances, and we sort of took them, which we needed.
Back-to-back wins to kick off 2024, a perfect start to the new year. Level on points now with the teams going into the playoffs, although some have played sort of a game less because they've been involved in the cup or whatever today. But that's got to give the side great confidence, hasn't it, going into the final third of the season?
Yeah, 100%. You know, if you'd have given us at the start of 2024 with 6 points, we'd have taken it. We sort of take game by game, you know. It's hard to look at the league at this sort of stage because it changes so much. But we just take game by game, and yeah, hopefully we just see where we end up.
That is Liam Kelly, the Crawley midfielder. Well done, of course, to them. One of the players playing so well this afternoon, Tom Fellows for West Brom, was, of course, on loan at Crawley last season. Let's go back then to West Brom, Aldershot. Work to do for Tommy Widgerton. He just had to give the speech of his life. They are 3-0 down. And great news, by the way, the Shots don't play on Tuesday night. That was my error. That game is being rearranged, so I'm afraid Christine is going to have to take Steve Gibbs shopping now, or the other way around instead. Back to Rob Worrell and the aforementioned Steve Gibbs.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, absolutely. No after the Lord Mayor's show for Aldershot on Tuesday night after all. I can see that West Brom are going to make at least one substitution at half-time, and I think we're going to see Akil Higgins. And as for Aldershot, it looks as if they've taken to the field with the same 11. So let's just give you the Aldershot Town 11 again. Geordie Van Stappershoef in goal. Harfield, Harries, who's on a yellow card, and Rowe. The centre-backs, Ollie Scott, Widrington, also on a yellow. O'Keefe and Glover left to right across the middle, with Frost, let's face it, also in the middle because he can't get forward as much as he and Aldershot and their supporters would like. And then Tolaj and Barham staying up front but looking a little isolated at times. So it is indeed Higgins who's coming on, and I didn't catch who went off. I wonder if my summariser Steve Gibbs did. If not, we'll give you that information very soon.
He didn't, but I shall find out soon. It looks like he's taken up a position on the left of the attack, which is his natural position, so maybe.
Yeah, Malcolm's gone into the middle.
Yeah,
Malcolm in the middle.
Who's gone off, because as Carlos Corberán said in his press conference yesterday, or on Friday, whenever it was, that DK, just coming back from 7-9 months out with injury, that he would only play 45 minutes.
Here's Glover doing well, winning the ball, skipping inside. Goes one way, then the other, and now he's lost it. And West Brom will pick it up. So just the one change in personnel so far. And it's one of those two diminutive players, is it, that's gone off? No. We've still got Fellows in the ball. He gets his cross in. That's headed away by Glover, only to the edge of the area. And Chalabar keeps possession now. Cross in from the left-hand side, and Malcolm gets in there above Harries, but the header's weak and upwards and easily gathered by Geordie Van Stappershoef. A reminder of the Aldershot Town side I just gave you, didn't I? Beg your pardon. And the West Brom side, well, it still looks a similar formation to me. Out of possession, it's a 5 at the back, but yeah, it's a 3-4-3 otherwise. Harfield to take the throw for the Shots. We've still got a little bit of late afternoon or middle of the afternoon sunshine here at the Hawthorns. Sadly though, Steve, at the moment the sun has not shone on the Aldershot players or supporters.
It hasn't, no, but they just have to hope that they can win this second half and at least command a little bit of respect and give the fans something good to clutch to.
Good tackle there from O'Keefe, who wins the ball, and then he has his shirt tugged from behind. Referee doesn't give anything. Shots play it down the line with Ollie Scott. And a West Bromwich Albion player has gone down. I think it might be Hurd. It is indeed. And he's gone down and the way that his head's across his face, you wondered if that might be the end of his afternoon. One of the issues that West Brom have got is that they've obviously lost some players to the African nations, and they're having to play a few players today that don't have an awful lot of first team match fitness. He gets up and he's okay, Herd, but that's the balancing act that Carlos Corberán's got to play this afternoon, and
absolutely,
I don't doubt for a minute he'll use a lot of his subs, if not all of them today.
Yeah, I mean, a few of those substitutes are the first team regulars in Kipre, Thomas Asante, Yokushlu, the central midfielder, and yeah, I think West Brom played one more game than the Shots over that Christmas period. They played 4 to the Shots 3. But I think the credit to the Shots team that 3 of those players who started against Swansea on New Year's Day started this afternoon, whereas in the third round last year, none of those players. It was a completely new team who made 11 changes before facing Chesterfield. So maybe that's a bit of a backhanded compliment to Aldershot Town.
Here's West Brom in the ball in the possession of the goalkeeper Griffiths, clips it out to the right hand side. Herd picks it up again in a pocket of space. That's been his job all afternoon, find a pocket of space somewhere, and West Brom spread it out to their right, Aldershot's left, and Aldershot win it with Ollie Scott, who finds half field. And I know that Patrick Bamford has just scored not just a goal, but potentially the goal of the round for Leeds United at Peterborough, where it's 2-0 now to Leeds United. And here is Mowat in possession, tries a ball into a pocket of space just inside the penalty. A shot comes in, and that's over the bar, and that's from the substitute Akil Higgins, who's really, Steve, just slotted in where Jovan Malcolm was in the first half, and Malcolm has moved, as we say, into the middle, and Malcolm in the middle now.
Indeed, yeah, that's an easy one to remember, isn't it? But yeah, Akil Higgins, another one of those players that will be looking to impress on the national stage. His first minutes for the Baggies, another one to come through the West Bromwich Albion Academy, and a really exciting attacking prospect who will not give the Shots 1 minute of respite this afternoon, because he is on his own mission to stake a claim for a first team place.
Good afternoon to Fiona Pennant, who's listening in, stalwart Aldershot Town fan and senior member amongst the stewarding team at Aldershot on a regular basis, and unfortunately Fiona can't be here, but she's listening in. And a word for my youngest son, Dean Worrell, who's a posh fan. His brother's at Peterborough Leeds, and I think he's at home with a couple of devices trying to follow both games. Posh Leeds and West Brom Shots, and no goals and no joy yet for either Posh or Aldershot Town, but you never know. And the Shots fans cheer Tommy Widrington's name. He acknowledges that and applauds it. We're 50 minutes in here. West Bromwich Albion 3, Aldershot Town 0. Ball over the top from Rowe. Will be chased down by Tyler Frost. He's only got Bartley to get the ball off. I say that as if it's easy. He's a bit of a mountain, and his control is absolutely first class. Big ball forward from West Brom, and then Halffield does well on the second bounce to direct his header forward. I think the most frustrating thing probably for the Shots fans, Steve, and maybe even for you and I sort of commentating on proceedings today, is that the one thing that we did think is that Aldershot Town would have their moments today, and other really than Barham's effort that deflected the wrong-footed goalkeeper wide. That's it in 51 minutes, and they've just not been able to impose themselves on this game in any way, shape or form.
They haven't, no, and I think that's partly they've played within themselves somewhat. Partly, yes, they're missing a couple of key players in Stokes, particularly. And also testament to the quality of West Bromwich Albion.
Ball through the middle, and Ollie Scott's onto it, goes down inside the penalty area. No penalty given, but a corner is given by referee Anthony Backhouse. And I've got to say, hand on my heart, Steve, that was just 4,700 people desperately wanting a penalty rather than it was one.
Oh, absolutely it was, and you can't blame the Shots fans for appealing up the other end of the pitch as well, which they would not have had a good view.
Corner's been taken short, back to Frost, Widrington, Glover turns back the other way, ball into the penalty area to Frost. Frost goes down, And the referee's given a free kick the other way. That can never be a free kick the other way unless he feels Frost has dived and produces a yellow. That is staggering to me, Steve Gibbs. For me, might have been a bit too soft for a penalty, but it can't be a foul the other way. It can't.
No, I don't think so. I think Tyler was shaping to shoot. I think there was a little bit of a coming together, but yeah, for me, I don't think there's a decision to be made there.
No, not at all. Poor from the referee, but we move on. 3-0 West Brom. Harry's in possession in his own half to Barham. Barham goes back to Scott, and Scott inside to Ollie Harfield. And Aldershot, as they found in the first half, don't have too many options. They're lacking a little bit of mobility in midfield, really, with O'Keefe and Widrington. They're kind of missing the pace and energy of the Frost deeper. Frost keeps coming back. Look, he's doing it again now to try and get on the ball. He wants to have more of an impact on this ground than he did at half-time many years ago. As I think he said, a 10-year-old, he came here following Reading in an FA Cup third or fourth round match. And he did the half-time crossbar challenge. And that can all be heard in a wonderful interview with Tyler Frost that was with Tim Durrans, that was played out earlier on this show, or on Friday afternoon's or Friday evening's sports preview hour. Have a listen to that, Shots fans, perhaps after the game if you can. Lovely interview with Tyler Frost there. Here's West Brom picking up the ball with Caleb Taylor, who fancies a bit of a forage forward over halfway, and he's been dispossessed by O'Keefe. O'Keefe finds Frost, and Aldershot's ball forward is just cut out, and West Brom immediately come on the counter-attack, and they're on the left side now with Akil Higgins, who goes back inside to Mowat. Mowat finds Chalabar, scorer of the first goal today. He's approaching the edge of the Shot's final third, and he's just ushered away. And then a ball across isn't the best, but Mowat does well to control it and send it out to the right-hand side to Fellows, who's managed to get his cross in almost every time. On this occasion, he plays it back to Mowat. Mowat on his left foot outside the penalty area, tries a little ball through. Glover goes to ground and wins it and puts it into touch. And the Shots fans, who've been starved of good moments, Steve, with a generous cheer and applause for Glover's efforts there.
Yeah, I think they're gonna grab whatever they can as cause for optimism, as reasons to cheer their heroes, and that's what they'll still be this afternoon, regardless of the result.
That's Steve Gibbs. I'm Rob Worrell. You're listening to BBC Radio Surrey. FA Cup special this afternoon in the third round. The Shots at the Baggies. Here's Fellows with the cross in from the right. Glover should head that away. He does. And the West Brom player reacts a little bit quicker than Tolaj, but the ball coming off the West Brom number 15, Eric Peters, fires off into touch. Aldershot will have a throw in the right back position, which Kobe Rowe will take. It looks like it's coming towards the end of the FA Cup run, Steve, but Aldershot Town have got plenty to play for still this season, haven't they?
They have, absolutely. They've got to use the impetus from this cup run, maybe the hurt from this afternoon, to push on. And I know Tommy said that whatever the result this afternoon, he would be knocking on the chairman's door tomorrow morning saying, where do you want this season to finish? What ambitions have you got for this season? Can we push on? Can we get the playoffs? And hopefully the chairman will give him positive answers.
55.5 minutes gone. West Brom 3, Aldershot Town 0. West Brom in possession just outside the Shots penalty area on West Brom's left hand side, into Chalabar. Little tight 1-2 doesn't come off. Glover clears his lines, and Barham will battle with Taylor, a battle that he's going to do really well to win, and he doesn't, unfortunately. And they're literally feeding on scraps, but here they have a scrap. Barham gets his toe on it. Aldershot cut out West Brom in possession, spread it out to the right hand side to Glover. Ball into the feet of Frost. Nice turn from him. Can Aldershot have a moment going forward here? And Frost just overruns it, just loses composure while he was trying to sort out his options. And they were good options. Tolaj, Barham and Ollie Scott had all got forward. There's a good headed winner from Widrington, finds O'Keefe. And I think Aldershot as a team, Stephen, for the supporters, they just need a moment. Maybe they rattle the crossbar, maybe they get a goal back. Let's see. Here's Harfield exchanging passes with Scott. He should be able to get across in here, drags it back. Shot from Frost, deflects and goes behind, and it will be a third corner of the afternoon to the Shots, and just listen to the roar from the Shots fans away to our right.
Yeah, that's a claim. I'm sure there's been more muted celebrations in the away end for goals here this season, and Aldershot Town building for a corner.
Taken quickly to Glover, now to Scott. Everybody forward. Widrington with the ball in. It's not a good one, it's headed away, but he's won it again on the edge of the area. Tries the ball into Tollage, who can't quite take it in his stride. He was on the half turn. Had he got any kind of touch on it, I don't doubt, Steve, he'd have had another one and had a shot on target, but it just agonisingly went across his toes.
Yeah, it's been those fine margins for the Shots this afternoon at both ends of the pitch. They have been complicit in their own downfall, but and also not been able to capitalise upon fleeting opportunities, just moments where you think if it goes just right, if you can control a skidding ball, and you might be in, but they've not really had anything so far this afternoon to trouble the goalkeeper.
No, if Aldershot were going to get anything today, they needed a couple of players who are not here. They needed to start well, they needed to keep West Brom out, and they probably needed a few moments of good fortune as well. Here's Fellows again, and he can cross it with either foot, and he does so again. Harries gets his head on it. Glover tries to retrieve the situation but can't, and it's another corner to West Bromwich Albion, which gives me time to share with our listeners that Nottingham Forest, who were 2-0 down to Blackpool, have now pulled level. Morgan Gibbs-White with that goal, so 2-2 there. And here at the Hawthorns, it's still West Bromwich Albion 3, Aldershot Town 0. Will the Shots get their moment this afternoon? We'll have to wait and see, but we're approaching the hour mark. West Brom with their 6th corner to the far post. Towering leap from K-Leg Taylor. Puts his header wide. And Aldershot Town are going to make a substitution. They're going to bring Willard on. And Steve, something we've talked about is Aldershot perhaps needing a little bit more legs and mobility in midfield. And I can't see the board yet, but I would imagine Willard's going to come on for Theo Widrington.
Yes.
In fact,
he's walking down behind Jordi van Stappenshef's goal, taking warm applause from the visiting supporters. But yeah, I don't think this was the right game for Theo, lacking match fitness, and particularly with the way the West Brom team has lined up. I think you needed someone with box-to-box energy to close down these West Brom attackers.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Of course, the only opinion that matters in the team selection is that of the manager, Tommy Widrington, and I'm sure he'll have made a balanced decision. Now, he does look as if he's walking okay, Theo Widrington, and there's an effort from distance just over the bar from West Brom. You've got to have some cheek and some confidence to try and lob a 6'6" goalkeeper from 50 yards, but that's what West Brom just tried. And yeah, I mean, it's important for Theo Widrington, who'll have a part to play in the rest of the season for Shots, that as he accepts a handshake from his father, that he doesn't, re-injure that hamstring. Normally with a hamstring injury, you'd come back, wouldn't you? 20 minutes, 25, half an hour. I think what he's done is waited that little bit longer and built up his fitness in training, hasn't he?
Yes, but, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like this substitution is injury prompted. It's more tactical, but yeah, I think the principle remains. Aldershot Town needed more legs in that midfield.
Yeah, Aldershot come forward, and they just don't seem to have quite the belief in their passing. There's poor control from West Brom at the back. Tollage has won it, and he won possession on the edge of the penalty area, and the referee Backhouse comes to the rescue of West Bromwich Albion, as he's not needed to do many times today, but he hasn't been found wanting in that regard. They get the free kick. They quickly on the attack, and Hurd might try a shot himself from distance here. He does, and it's just high and just wide, and you can't blame the diminutive attacking midfielder for having a go there. He's been lively all afternoon. He's been involved. I think for me, Fellows probably the man of the match so far for West Brom, but who can blame him? 3-0 up, and an opportunity to pull the trigger.
Absolutely, yeah. I think those fringe players at West Brom will be looking to leave a mark, to create some memories. Lauren Tollage tries to dribble through midfield rather haphazardly. He's caught in possession, but then the referee does pull it back for
what
foul.
Must be Aldershot's third or fourth free kick of the afternoon, eh? Anyway, no doubting the class of West Brom. I think it's probably the third or fourth game on the bounce where Aldershot have got very little from the officials. Harfield does really well here, and is fouled 2 or 3 times nothing given. Aldershot battling back for it, and eventually the referee gives the free kick the other way. And he's the silent assassin, isn't he, Backhouse? But I think he's quite enjoying giving Aldershot Town very little and West Brom plenty in front of their own fans.
Yeah, I think in the end it was open season on Chalobah there. He was giving no inch, nor asking any from his opponents, and I think a combination of Frost and Scott were very much transgressing the laws, shall we say. I think.
Right. 2 substitutions for West Brom. We're going to see Cedric Kipre, who is coming on for the man who started as the skipper, Kyle Bartley. And we see Harry Whitwell coming on for Alex Mowat. Concur with those two, Steve?
Absolutely. 2 straight swaps at centre-back and central midfield. Kipre was expected to go to the African Cup of Nations. He plays for the Ivory Coast, but not selected, surprisingly, to a lot of seasoned Baggies watchers. And Whitwell is another academy graduate, a box-to-box midfielder. Again, another player, as if Aldershot Town haven't faced enough this afternoon, another player who will be looking to impress and looking to impose their name, create some memories.
Good. You can't blame him, Jack Barham, and he just nicked the ball, left channel, 30 yards out. He nicked it and he thought, I'm going to have a go here, and he struck his volley and it sliced completely the wrong way and went out for a throw. But he's not going to leave anything out there, is he? That's for sure.
And that's exactly the right attitude from Aldershot Town. I think West Brom seem pretty much satisfied with their afternoon's work. Yes, there'll be some players that are looking to impress individually, but yeah, if Aldershot Town can, like you said earlier about Patrick Bamford, score the goal of the round, do something that will leave these West Brom fans coming away going, yeah, it was a comfortable win, but that goal or that player or that moment.
I have to say it hasn't happened on the pitch for Aldershot Town, but looking away to our right, tremendous feeling of pride at some of the biggest numbers we've ever seen of Aldershot Town travelling away. It probably won't top Stoke in 2004, but there can't be many other games where they've taken this many supporters, Steve, away from
that's
home.
the only one I can remember, even allowing kind of Millwall away, Sheffield Wednesday away, but yeah, 4,800 is an absolutely magnificent turnout.
Harfield wins the ball, clears it forward. Barham takes it nicely and finds Willard. Willard looks to slot in. Tolaj! Oh, he gets the ball stuck under his feet, and he gets a consoling pat on the back from the number 15, Eric Peters, who knew himself that was Tolaj's moment. And I think he was so excited to get the ball and bear down on goal that he left the ball under his feet. And in those 1 or 2 little moments today, you see the learning, the exposure. The atmosphere here in the ground has just lifted because a few of the home faithful have decided to have a little bit of banter with the 4,700 Shots fans.
Yeah.
And a little bit of an exchange going on. And I think members of both clubs, supporters, just maybe an equivalent to a Mexican wave. They're just having a little bit of a shout off against each other.
They are, yeah, and I think that's credit. I think that the Shots fans saw that moment for Tolaj, and yeah, in a parallel universe, he's still celebrating a fantastic solo goal. And I think Peters absolutely realised that he got away with one there, that it was by hook, by crook that he managed to survive, and Tolaj wasn't through on goal. But it has just lifted the atmosphere a little bit, woke both sets of fans up, and created a little bit of edge.
Here's a good battle in midfield, which West Brom win. Ball into the area. It's picked up by Higgins. Half cleared. And then it's cleared by a Shots player off a West Brom player and flies away behind the goal, away to our right. Elsewhere in the FA Cup this afternoon, Manchester City, well, they're bobbing along nicely against Huddersfield. 3-0 up there. Oscar Bobb with a goal in the 58th minute. And, between West Ham and Bristol City have pulled themselves level with a Tommy Conway goal on just past the hour mark. Here at the Hawthorns, we are in the 67th minute, and the scoreline now is the same as it was after 27 minutes, and that's 3-0 to West Brom. But here, Malcolm breaks forward in the left-hand side of the penalty area. Shots get players back. Drops it back to Akil Higgins. He goes back further to Peters. Peters with the ball into Malcolm, and Rowe battles away well, doesn't win the free kick, but Aldershot do win possession. Here's Willard, who squares it to Harries. Willard himself, I'm sure, Steve, will feel very disappointed that he didn't get the nod this afternoon from the off. He hasn't done a lot wrong. He has been out of the starting lineup for the last couple of games, but you and I both identified Aldershot lacked a little bit of athleticism and energy in the middle today, and already, you know, as he trades places with Frost there, you're getting a little bit more. There's a ball in the inside left channel from Harries, and it's chased down by Barham, and he keeps it in and turns it backwards when he might just have held possession, and he turns it straight into the path of a West Brom player, and West Brom pick the ball up inside their own half. Phil Foden scored again for Manchester City. It's now 4-0 against Huddersfield, and well, Aldershot Town, what do they go, Steve? 27, 18 minutes plus another 22. 40 minutes they've gone without conceding to West Brom. It's slim pickings, but it's something.
It is slim pickings, but absolutely, it's credit to the way the team have stuck to their task. They have been very much second best in every area of the pitch, but yeah, I think partly West Brom have seen this as job done, but also it's credit to Aldershot Town. They could have folded, they could have let their heads drop, but they've stayed true to the task and stayed honest, and they're doing the red and blue shirt proud. Even if they're not going to win this afternoon, they've still been competitive.
Here's Rowe in possession, ball up to Tollage. Oh, lovely touch inside for Frost, who picks it up now on the run, and he's lost out once but gets a foot in again. He can only poke it back to the West Brom player. In the first meeting between the two Welsh sides for many, many years, Wrexham have taken the lead at Shrewsbury in the FA Cup, and here's Fellows on the right hand side. Again, can he make room for his cross? No, he plays it back, and Glover can only head it away from danger, but it will only go straight to Akil Higgins, and West Brom will continue with this attack. Fellows can send it in with his left foot on this occasion, and as has happened a few times today, Glover assesses its flight, realises nobody of any danger, and lets the ball drift behind. And Glover has been one of the bright sparks for shots today. Great to see him back in the lineup, and all season he's ploughed the left flank, and he's had to go back where he spent a bit more time last year on the right-sided wing-back.
Yeah, I think he's done really well this afternoon, Ryan. As you say, it has been one of the few bright spots in this Shots performance, and in difficult circumstances as well, where you've got those young West Brom attackers, those wing-backs coming forward. It's sometimes difficult to pick up where there can be overloads quite easily created on either flank, but yeah, I think Ryan's done really well.
So 3-0 West Brom. We're in the 70th minute now, 20 to go plus whatever's added. Harries clips the ball forward. It's taken down beautifully on his chest by Tollage, but then the ball goes to Taylor, who finds a poor pass, only finding Rowe. Rowe finds Willard, and he's in space. He turns, comes across halfway. He's got a forward run from Glover on the right-hand side. And Aldershot in attack, good 1-2. Willard is onto it, down by the corner flag, much better from the shots. Can he get the ball in or win a corner for the shots? He probes one way, then the other, goes back to Glover. Glover with a little back heel, back into the path of Willard. This is better from shots. Tyler Frost across to O'Keefe. O'Keefe then goes back to Rowe. Rowe inside to Frost. Shots enjoying a bit of possession, but can they penetrate this mean West Bromwich Albion defence, the second best defence in the Championship? Aldershot, of course, who ply their trade a couple of divisions down, 3 divisions down from that, of course. 77 places separate the sides. Shot still in possession. O'Keefe to Scott, to O'Keefe again. O'Keefe squares it to Frost. Frost out to the right hand side to Glover, and West Brom just in a bit of a low block, only Malcolm forward for them. Glover inside to Frost. Frost inside to Tollage, gets it back, edge of the area, onto his left foot, tries a shot, deflection on it, and it will be picked up by Hurd, but Aldershot battle away and win it back through Harfield. Harfield finds O'Keefe, and O'Keefe having his shirt tugged, but again not spotted by the referee. Scott puts the ball into the air, it's headed away, only as far as Harries. Harries finds O'Keefe, touches it into the path of O'Keefe, Frost, who wins a free kick to the Shots, some 30
30 yards out, maybe 35 yards out, and Frost, who's fouled, wants it. And this could be a moment for Aldershot Town to take their opportunity this afternoon.
It could be. Before that free kick, I think we're going to see a change, and it's
Kwame Thomas.
Yeah, Stuart O'Keefe, who was involved in that move. His last involvement of the afternoon. Kwame Thomas is going to be coming on, and also another change from West Bromwich Albion, where it looks like number 41, who's Leighton Love, is going to be coming on.
Yeah, you would imagine now that Frost will partner Willard in midfield. Tolaj will probably drop into the 10, and Kwame Thomas will join Barham up top. And Mike Brown, I don't think this is any insult to you and I, Steve, but he says the best bit of listening so far today has been that magnificent Aldershot support in the background, which is clearly coming over our sound effects microphone. It's still 3-0 West Brom, but here, as the 73-minute mark approaches, Aldershot Town have a free kick. Are they going to try an effort from distance? Tolaj fancies it, I think, but he doesn't seem to be setting much of a run-up. Halffield is over the ball, so's Glover. What are they going to do? It is Tolaj, tries the shot, it's on target, it's pretty weak, and it's saved comfortably by Griffiths in the West Brom goal. But it's a shot on target for the Shots, Steve, in the 73rd minute.
It is, yeah. Barely worthy of the name. I don't think that was Lawrence's best effort by a long shot. Yes, definitely something off the training ground, but there was never really any devil, any whip, any pace, any speed. He wasn't finding the corner.
Strange, isn't it? Because he probably could have generated a lot more power had he just stepped up and hit it.
Absolutely.
But here's West Brom in possession, being well pressed by the Shots. There's the out ball, and it's cut out by Ollie Scott's face, I think, and goes into touch. He waits a few seconds and then does eventually bring his hand up to his face, but it's more really just to straighten his hair. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. So we're searching for moments of consolation here for the Shots, and they certainly have had a good few minutes. They've had a lot more possession, they've had a lot more territory, they've had that free kick, and they've had a shot on target. What else can they get in these remaining 15 minutes here at the Hawthorns, where the Baggies from the Championship lead by 3-0? They got the job done in the first half an hour, and to be fair, Steve, they've been at a canter ever since. But Aldershot at the moment putting them under a little bit of pressure in their own half, and they continue to play it around. They're going to go back inside their own area. It's a really poor ball, and Frost almost got onto it. In fact, Willard almost does, and it's scrappy from West Brom. But now they find Hurd in acres of space in the middle of the park as Frost and Willard are both pushed forward. Harries comes out of defence to try and prod away and win the ball, and now Aldershot get bodies back. Tolaj has indeed dropped into the 10. Here's Barham battling away brilliantly to try and win the ball on the floor. He can't control it, and Caleb Tabor gets him to his feet, and meanwhile West Brom pick up possession again. So into the last 15 minutes here at the Hawthorns, and the Shots for whom their fans' hearts sank just 7 minutes in when Chalabar put West Brom ahead. And pretty much the game was dead by the 27th minute in terms of the result. But Aldershot have continued to play with guts and pride. They played a lot better in the second half, and they've had a lot of the ball. Here's a ball up to Willard, does well to control it and find Scott. Scott now down the line, and Taylor will get there in front of Barham, but he can only head it to Willard, who controls the ball. A few appeals for handball from the West Brom fans not given. Inside to Harries, up to Frost. Frost to Tolaj, who might enjoy dropping back a little bit deeper. He finds Kwame Thomas. Thomas out to Glover. Glover to Tolaj, inside, wriggles away from his man, sends it out to the left, looking for Ollie Scott, can't find him. It's been cut out well by West Brom, but Tolaj has won it back, and now he's fouled, is he? Yes! A free kick for Aldershot Town, and they might be up to 5 for the afternoon from the rather stingy Anthony Backhouse. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, Tolaj did really well. Aldershot Town, they have come alive in the last few minutes. They found a dynamism, a speed in the pass that was lacking.
And they've taken the free kick short. Frost inside to Tolaj, right-footed shot. Oh, it's a brilliant save. He nearly had his moment, the Swiss striker. Fantastic save from Griffiths, palms it away to the right. Aldershot have still got it. Willard thinks about a shot from the edge of the area. He's got to run into the box from Scott. He's got Harfield on the outside of him, gives it to Harfield, sends the ball in, and it's headed into touch by West Brom. But Laurent Talage in the 77th minute, going the closest all afternoon for the shot, Steve.
Yeah, it's the first moment really that Griffiths has had to first opportunity that Griffiths has had to repel, and he did it really well. I think it was a good height for him, but it was travelling towards that far post at some velocity, and he did well, did the England under-21 goalkeeper.
Shots still in possession from another throw. Here's Harfield. Is he going to attack his man? He comes back to Willard. Willard on the edge of the area, and he just bounces off a West Brom player, but Aldershot have won it back again. Good work from Talage again. Scott feeds Harfield, and West Brom have made a few changes, and Aldershot on the side that are playing with a better rhythm at the minute. Here's Frost. He's going to try a shot from distance. Is he going to try that crossbar challenge again? No. Goes out to wide to Glover. Glover to Talage. Back to Glover. Pulls it back, and it's cleared away by West Brom behind their own goal for a fourth corner of the afternoon. And just listen to the noise of the Shots fans again. Glover and Frost are out there. Again, they're going to persist with a short corner. Frost tries a ball in and gives it straight to a West Brom player. It's being carried forward now. That's a heavy touch, and Harfield is onto it, and he goes back to Jordi van Stappershoef. But Aldershot have literally asked all the questions between the 70th and the 80th minute. We're into the 79th now. Harfield, and they've settled nicely, and they're enjoying their game now. They won't be enjoying the scoreline at all, Steve, of course, but they're giving their best account all afternoon in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Here's Harry spreading the ball out to the left. They seem to be able to play their patterns of play they play in the National League at the moment, and that's given them a degree of comfort. Willard to Barham, comes off his man, throws it back to Frost. And, well, there's an offside decision given against Willard in the first instance, which I don't think anybody in the ground appealed for. And Backhouse disrupts the play again.
Well, the assistant on the far side had his flag up, but yeah, I think Aldershot Town definitely it is those cliches. It's easy to play when you're 3-0 down and the opposition are not really pressing, but yeah, I think it's credit to Aldershot Town that they have come strong in these last few minutes, that they have found an impetus, they found that speed in the pass, a little bit of energy in their legs, that dynamism in their play.
There's only 3 games all season where Tommy Witherington's Aldershot Town side have failed to score, and you'd love for them to get something in these late moments. It would really be something for the 4,700 supporters away to our right to cheer, and they certainly haven't given up trying. Here Barham almost cuts the ball out, but when he can't, Ollie Scott does. Willard into the path of Harfield, and I think the Shots fans would forgive them conceding again for the forward effort to try and get on the score sheet, wouldn't they? Harries plays the ball forward, that's cut out by West Brom. Talage does well to win it back, exchanges passes with Kwame Thomas, and now they look to spread it across to the left hand side. Willard to Ollie Scott. Scott drifts inside, finds Willard again. Has Aldershot got a moment here in front of the West Brom goal. Scott gets the ball back to goal, turns, threads the ball into the path of Ollie Harfield. Can't quite get room for the cross himself, goes back to Ollie Scott. Scott inside to Willard. Frost has come over to show for the ball again. Gets the ball to feet, gives it back to Willard. Willard out to the left hand side to Ollie Harfield. Scott's made an overlapping or interlapping run. In comes the ball from Harfield, it's headed away by West Brom, but only as far as Frost. He does well, he gathers it, goes down, no foul this time, and the West Brom supporters in their agony and excitement, whatever you want to call it, mixture of both, are trying to tell the player that Fellows was free on the right hand side. He cuts inside and sends it out to the left hand side, where Akil Higgins is involved, and then Whitwell, and then out to Fellows, and we're into the 82nd minute now. It's still West Brom 3, Aldershot Town 0. You're listening to Rob Worrell and Steve Gibbs for BBC Radio Surrey, and it's the Shots fans you can hear in the background still singing for their team 10 minutes from time, despite the fact that their side have been 3-0 down since the 27th minute. And we wait to see if Witherington's wonders can get their moment. And you see his body language now, Steve. He's telling them, push up.
He wants a goal.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd care any more than we or the 4,700 to our right if they concede a fourth now or the shot, but they want a goal.
Yeah, there's very little difference between losing 3 or 4-0 at this stage, but
or even
to
4-1,
lose 3-1, that puts a much better perspective on the entire game, and also gives those Shots fans a thoroughly deserved moment in the sun, something to celebrate.
Even though the sun's gone down, but I get your point, Steve. Manchester City are 5-0 up now against Huddersfield, and Kevin De Bruyne with the assist there. Doku's goal. Here's Fellows picking up the ball for West Brom, gets his cross in right-footed. It's met at the near post and sent wide by who was it?
I think it was
I can't see his number. It's got
number 26, Pippa.
It begins with the 2. It's Pippa. So come on now. Ryan Glover's gone down. I'm not sure if it's the cramp that often affects him at this point, but he has missed the last couple of games. I think Aldershot have got one more substitute left. It's the FA Cup, haven't they?
Yes.
So I think we might even see a few minutes for Aaron Jones here, which will be a nice reintroduction back into the side. And Glover has been one of the bright spots for Aldershot Town this afternoon. He's gone about his work superbly, coming back into the side in a less familiar position in Tommy Widringson's side anyway. And he's done really, really well to get to the 83rd minute, and he will now be replaced by the Aldershot Town vice-captain, Aaron Jones, who'll come on for the final 6.5 minutes plus added time. We're also going to see Josh Shaw come on for West Brom, and he is going to come on for Fenton Hurd.
Yeah, I think it'll be great to see Aaron Jones back. Absolutely, from injury. It's been too long since he's graced this pitch, but yeah, I think Hurd has played centrally, whereas
a lovely moment. You know what? Widrington's going to use all his subs, and we're going to see Ollie Bray as well here. I'm not sure who's going to come off for the Shots. It's the number 22, Jack Barham. His afternoon and his FA Cup run is over, but he's played his part in it superbly, notably, of course, those 3 goals at Swindon, and he won't mind at all, I'm sure, Ollie Bray, who's come up a ridiculous amount of levels already to play for Aldershot Town, and is now playing against opposition from at least 6 levels above the level he's been playing just a few months ago. What a moment for Ollie Bray.
Absolutely, yeah, and another chance for him to get a few minutes to embed himself into this Aldershot Town squad, and who knows, have a moment himself. He could be the player that gives the Shots fans something to talk about.
Here's Harry's in possession for Shots outside his own penalty area, trays the ball through the middle to Bray. He controls it nicely and finds Frost. Frost skips inside his man and gives the ball to Aaron Jones, who gets his first touch back in the Aldershot Town side. And then Harry sends the ball over to the right hand side, looking for Jones, who'd got well forward, but in fact he's done really well, Jones, to get onto a 50-50 there, and that's well cut out by Harries, who's on a yellow, needs to be careful. Just heads the ball up in the air and then brings it under control, and then sends it to Ollie Harfield and gets a lovely cheer from the Shots fans. He's going to continue to be Cian Harries. He's going to continue to play the way he plays.
Yeah, he can only play one way.
Yeah, exactly. And hurrah to that. Here's the Shots fans olaying every time their players get the ball. Harries tries the ball into the inside left channel, looking for Tollage. Clear push in the back. Again, nothing given. The loose ball picked up by Willard. He's got Scott left of him. He finds him. Harfield's making an underlapping run on the inside. Scott cuts inside, ignores Harries and finds Frost. Frost spreads the ball out to the right hand side to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones gets his simple pass there a little bit wrong, but as West Brom come forward, Rowe commits himself, doesn't make contact with the ball, and West Brom are going to get in here through the centre of goal, and it's blazed over the bar from the substitute Leighton Love. Big moment for him, and he blew it, Steve, with a player, I think it was Fellows, to his left, he could have squared it for an open goal.
Yeah, he had a couple of opportunities there, like whether to go himself or square it for the teammate in acres of space. They both were alongside each other, but yeah, one-on-ones are difficult, and he just proved how difficult they can be.
And a disappointing moment for Leighton Love, but what feels like a bit of fortune for Aldershot, who gave the ball away there, and they countered well. But they've done so well since the 27th minute not to concede again, and that would have been a shame. Here's Harries with the ball into the right-hand channel, looking for Bray, who tries a shot from distance, and his shot's on target at the near post. Kwame Thomas wanted him to square it, but who can blame the youngster for pulling the trigger? And it's Aldershot's just their second effort on target of the afternoon.
Yeah, I think absolutely. It was always going to be a tight angle from that inside right channel. Ideally, you want it skidding through that corridor of uncertainty into the 6-yard box, where Kwame Thomas might be able to slide in and divert it into the net, but you can't blame a striker for wanting a shot on goal.
Here's Love in possession, holding it up nicely as they go back through Pippa, and they try a ball into the inside right channel, and here his fellow skips back onto his left foot, and it's a beautiful finish, and there is no doubt about the West Bromwich Albion man of the match, and it is Tom Fellows, who's assisted this afternoon, but now he's scored as well, and he's put a little bit of gloss on the finish, a bit of icing on the cake for West Bromwich Albion, who in the 90th minute get their 4th goal of the afternoon. West Bromwich Albion 4, Aldershot Town 0.
Yeah, he has been fantastic this afternoon, Fellows. He was the architect, the catalyst for their brilliant start that won the game, and now, as you say, he's put the icing on the cake, and he's also, metaphorically at least, planted a massive knock on Carlos Corberan's door to say, I deserve more minutes in the Championship. He's been, West Brom collectively, individually have been a class above, but for me he has been the outstanding player, and he's shown the levels that you need to set, whoever the opposition is, whether it's Swansea, Leeds, Aldershot Town. You've got to play at those levels, and Fellows has really grasped that opportunity this afternoon.
That's Steve Gibbs, I'm Rob Worrell. You listen to BBC Radio Surrey, FA Cup special. Here's Tollard, can't quite get his moment, but here's Frost's going to shoot from a long way out, and he gets it all horribly wrong, and it goes behind. But again, who can blame him for having a go? We are now in the 90th minute. Apologies, the 4th goal came in the 89th. And just the disappointment, really, Steve, that Aldershot had stemmed the flow, and they looked more and more like they might get themselves a moment for the Shots fans away to our right to cheer. But ultimately, in the latter moments, as the Shots push up a little bit braver, they have conceded. It is Tollage, though, sends the ball inside to Willard, and Willard gets the ball out of his feet and goes back to Rowe. And it's the Shots still looking for that consolation goal in the 90th minute. Ball over the top's going to drift harmlessly into touch. It'll be a throw into West Brom in the left back position. 9 minutes to 4 here. 90 minutes have gone, and we're going to have 5 added minutes. 5 added minutes here at the Hawthorns, and another West Bromwich Albion player has gone down on the edge of their own penalty area. Leeds United have scored a 3rd goal as well in the 90th minute. So no joy for the Worrell family, home or away this afternoon. And still the Shots fans sing, and you just find yourself hoping for them, Steve, that they might get something to cheer in these added 5 minutes, as they won themselves a throw now, level with the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Aaron Jones to take. Goes all the way back to Cian Harries, who feeds Harfield. Harfield not ventured forward as much as he can today. Now he does. And to be honest, there's not even any West Brom players up front. I think everybody knows the script in the stadium. Aldershot are going to go for a goal, come what may. And every player except Jordy van Stappershoef is in the West Brom half. Here's Harries, finds Frost. Sends it out wide this time to Aaron Jones. He gets his cross in, and the keeper Griffiths comes and catches it unopposed, and we are now just a minute and a half into a minimum of 5 added here at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion 4, Aldershot Town 0. It hasn't been the dream that Aldershot came here with. They've certainly not been
completely and utterly outclassed. They were indeed in that first half an hour, to be fair. Here's Van Stapelschuf coming to the edge of his area to gather the ball, and does eventually send it short to Kean Harries. And the Shots fans sing "Your ground's too big to you" to the West Bromwich Albion fans. Lovely bit of irony. The away end, let me tell you listeners, is just about big enough for the 4,700 hardy red and blue faithful, who have been superb today. Here's Tolladge receiving the ball just inside the half with his back to goal. Ball over the top. Can Thomas get there? Oh, his effort goes over the bar. It was difficult in truth. It's always difficult for a striker, the ball coming over your shoulder. He got his effort away, but he lifted it over the goal. And that, Steve, might be Aldershot Town's last opportunity to ripple the back of the Baggies net this afternoon.
Yeah, it would have been the consolation, nothing more, but definitely nothing less, and it would have been celebrated away to our right in the Smethwick end, as though maybe not quite as if it were a winner, but maybe a late equaliser. But yeah, difficult chance for Kwame. Defenders at his back, goalkeeper's coming out to him. He was trying to pirouette, get a clean strike on goal. In the end, maybe too clean. He volleyed it well over the bar.
Rowe wins a free kick on the edge of his own final third. Aldershot get the ball back underway nice and quickly, and we're coming towards the end, of course, of this FA Cup special and the end of the Aldershot Town run, but not the end of sport on BBC Surrey, because plenty still to follow. We'll wrap this one all up on James Cannon's show in the morning, and then next weekend we've got FA Trophy and Vase to delight you with, listeners. Commentary of Aldershot's game at Bishop Stortford, and updates on Dorking as well against Macclesfield. And I forget just at this moment who Woking are playing, or if they're still in the FA Trophy. Offside against Fellows, who won't add to his goal tally this afternoon. I didn't hear around the ground a West Brom man of the match announced. Did you, Steve?
I haven't, no.
I would definitely give it to Fellows.
I think so, yeah, absolutely. As we said, he was the catalyst for their really positive start. That opening 15-20 minutes where the game was won.
Here's Frost picking up the ball, sorry Steve, into Bray. Bray inside the edge of the area, threads it out wide to Jones. Aldershot going away from goal initially, but now with Willard and Frost involved, and Willard, is he going to try a shot? He's inside the penalty area, squares it across. Bray shoots and scores for Aldershot Town. Ollie Bray in the 95th minute has put Aldershot Town on the score sheet, and they've got their moment. The 4,700 Aldershot Town fans, and Ollie Bray has his moment. His first goal for Aldershot Town at the Hawthorns against Championship West Bromwich Albion. And what a delightful end to this game for Tommy Witherington's Aldershot Town, who've scored again this season. 95 minutes gone. West Bromwich Albion 4, Aldershot Town 1. Steve Gibbs.
If only they'd said as that time added on board went up, and after 90 minutes, next goal wins. Because the goal is being celebrated as though it is a winner. There's red smoke, there's scarves, there's songs.
And there is the final whistle, and how that goal will have lifted the mood of the Shots faithful as this one comes to an end. A certain irony in the scoreline. Just before kick-off, the Woking song was played, a town called Malice, which brought back memories of Woking's 4-1 win here so many years ago. On this occasion, the scoreline's the other way round. But you try dampening now the spirit of the 4,700 Shots fans away to our right, who've had their moment. My goodness me, they stayed with the side, and the side stayed with the battle. But moments, if not seconds before the end of this, Ollie Bray has scored his first professional goal, his first goal for Aldershot Town. And just listen to the Shots fans. Let me shut up for 30 seconds and our listeners enjoy this. Steve, final words from you and your Aldershot Town man of the match, please.
Yeah, Aldershot Town well beaten ultimately against an impressive West Bromwich Albion side, a mix of experience and exuberant youth. They won the game in the opening half an hour, but Aldershot Town deservedly taking the plaudits of their fans, giving it back in spades, showing the respect that the Shots fans deserve. They've come up here in their numbers and they've made this at times sound like a home game. They've been that loud, that passionate, that colourful. And Aldershot Town, the players and the fans deserve this moment for the cup run to celebrate what Aldershot Town achieved throughout this season at Swindon, at Stockport, not forgetting where it all started against Lewis. Yes, they've come up second best, very much so this afternoon, but this is a cup run that will be remembered by everyone associated with Aldershot Town for a long time. It hasn't quite hit the heights of previous exploits, but they've done themselves proud, and now they need to use this as the springboard, as the catalyst for pushing on, for maintaining their place in the top half of the table. Pushing on, can they get to the playoffs? But this afternoon, not quite as magnificent as it could have been, but nonetheless a magnificent occasion.
Fantastic stuff. That's Steve Gibbs. And Tim, as we approach 4 o'clock, that is a lovely moment at the end of a difficult afternoon for the Shots, but a wonderful cup run comes to an end with celebrations of a sort in front of their fans at the Smethwick end at the Hawthorns. Final score here, West Bromwich Albion 4, Aldershot Town 1.
Wonderful job, gentlemen. Great commentary. One more, Steve, from you, if I may. Then we'll head off. Just also £150,000 or so generated in this cup run. I know they spent a bit of that on some operations for players already, but that's important stuff behind the scenes. It helps build for the next stage, whatever that is, under Tommy Widgerton at Aldershot.
It will, absolutely, and it's not the romance of the FA Cup, but the finances of the FA Cup can be a real boost to clubs at this level. And Aldershot Town, Tommy Widgerton said that he was going to be knocking on the chairman's door tomorrow saying, what do you want the rest of this season to look like? Do we dare to dream in the league? And that £150,000 can go a long way if Aldershot Town want to build their squad, if they want to add a little bit of quality and push on into the playoff places. Then absolutely, it's not something that players or fans like to talk about, the finances, but in the boardroom, in the manager's office, it is absolutely vital, and that's another huge part of this afternoon, and another huge bonus for Aldershot Town and what they can take away from ultimately a disappointing afternoon here, but also one filled with pride.
Wonderful stuff, Steve and Rob. Thank you very much for now. Rob off to get some reaction for us to put on social media for you. Erica North is standing by for the last 2 hours of her show. Thank you for joining us for this Surrey Sports Special. It's been special, but not quite enough for the Shots in the end. They lose by 4-1. We'll play that in a moment. Luton get a draw against Bolton. Man City thump Huddersfield 5-0. Nottingham Forest gone from 2 down at home to League One Blackpool to draw 2-2. Leeds, big win away to Peterborough. Wrexham win at Shrewsbury. And West Ham are held by Bristol City at the London Stadium 1-1. Thank you to my producers this afternoon. It's been a special day for the fans. They will never forget the day they went to the West Midlands and they scored late on. From us all, thank you. Erica's next.
Is he going to try a shot? He's inside the penalty area, squares it across. Bray shoots and scores for Aldershot Town. Ollie Bray in the 95th minute has put Aldershot Town on the score sheet, and they've got their moment. The 4,700 Aldershot Town fans, and Ollie Bray has his moment. His first goal for Aldershot Town at the Hawthorns against Championship West Bromwich Albion. And what a delightful end to this game for Tommy Widrington's Aldershot Town, who've scored again this season. 95 minutes gone.